What's up, guys? I am playing drums for the Montoya Machine April 26th, downtown Minneapolis at the Skyway Theater. Blue Felix is headlining the main stage with Casanatra headlining the second stage. We also have Deratio, Wolf Mask, Bullets and Butterflies, 32 Headshots, obviously Montoya Machine, and a band called Slag is opening the whole thing. Tickets are $10 in advance, $15 at the door. It is all ages, so bring the kiddos. 21 plus to drink. There's going to be a guitar giveaway. There's going to be other art vendors. It's called the Blue Felix Springtime Slaughter. Go to skywaytheater.com for more details. There we go. We should be live now. We're good.
Oh my God,
we're good.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God. We're good.
Hello.
We're here.
I think we're good.
We made it.
We finally made it.
I'm nervous.
So you guys witnessed the shit show that is AV production.
I miss it.
Goes
makes no
way
sense.
above me.
It makes no sense. It's all the same problems you guys have in just being in a band or recording music, plus the same problems again in the video chain. So it's just the same problems twice.
I don't get paid enough to understand
It's
that.
so frustrating.
You're a lead singer. You don't have to worry about it.
Exactly. All I got to do is carry in my mic, right?
It's one of those things where you don't, you hopefully you never have to know what those problems are. Like, you don't want these problems. You don't want these AV problems.
Right.
Hopefully you can always get somebody else to fix that for you. It's one of those, it's not
Why I
very
have
self-empowered. It's not very self-empowered. You know, like some things like cooking. Like, you don't always want to depend on somebody else to cook for you. It's empowering. Like, cook your own food. Be good at it, too. You take a lot of pleasure in it. Not AV. No, not one of those things. It sucks. It all sucks. But it is technically working. But yeah, for some reason, we can't hear when we're going to play your music. But they will be able to hear it.
At least we've heard the songs before.
Well, I haven't heard these ones, though, so I'm a little
times.
bummed.
Well, we'll play it on our end when it's playing for them, and then you can hear it and then critique it after.
You guys have been doing some cool-ass shit lately, though. You guys got... How many music videos have you actually shot? One for sure.
So we've done live videos. Not
Those are still videos. Yeah.
Yes. So we actually did our entire set. So
Okay, perfect.
45 minutes worth. So like what? 10 songs? 11 songs?
11 songs.
11
And
songs.
where did you do that? That's super cool. I saw the...
Aesthetic Studio. We worked with a guy named Adam there, and they have this giant. Would you consider it a green screen? I don't.
Like
that's more of your
LED wall sort of thing.
Yeah.
Video wall.
So
That's what it looked like. It was
Yeah.
fucking cool.
yeah,
Dope as hell.
he designed everything for us, and yeah, he did all the video stuff too. Kyle Palma actually is editing our videos for us.
Nice.
And then all of the sound that you hear in those videos are all
Jason,
completely
you know Kyle,
live.
don't you?
I do.
Isn't that the guy you're trying to fucking get me to talk to?
Yeah.
He's awesome. I love Kyle. He's good.
Shout
shit.
out to Kyle. Shout out to
Kyle.
what did you say? The Adam? Is that
Aesthetic
Yeah,
Studio, Adam.
Adam.
Yeah.
Adam
Shout out to you
Aesthetic.
guys, man.
That's
Good
his
work.
name,
Very
right?
good work. That's fucking sweet.
Yeah, it was
I like
super
what I
fun.
saw so far. I like the aesthetic of it.
There it is.
No, I do though. I do like the looks of it, because that is always the hardest part, is
For
to
sure.
not shoot a cheesy, awkward video,
Mm-hmm.
which it's easy to flirt with. I can personally attest to this.
Okay, been there.
Yeah.
Right.
It's hard. It's hard to overdo it, or it's easy to overdo it. I'm sorry, that's what I meant to say. Like, oh my God, we were just talking about this. Who was I talking to this? Patrick, I think I was talking to. He's like, he goes, what I like about your video is you didn't try to like tell some bullshit story and have like the girl running down the hallway and like and I go, oh, you're talking about a concept video. He goes, yeah, those all suck. And I was like, yes, dude, yes, they do. And I've been talking about this for years on this podcast. Like, don't do that unless you can hire real actors and you've got real money to throw
gotta be
behind this.
tasteful.
Like,
It's gotta be
exactly.
tasteful.
And trust me, none of us are actors, right? We don't know how to do it, and that's the key, and we don't have the right editors or directors to chop it up and make it and fake it till we make it,
Sure.
right? We're missing 1 or 2 or 3 ingredients in the fucking proverbial cake I don't know how to make either, but it's one of those things where it's like we all kind of know we don't know how to make those videos. So just avoid them. just avoid them.
Just don't.
Sometimes
I
all
think
you
what
need
you
the
guys
live
did
video.
is-
Like, you just need
Yeah.
the live video.
I think what you guys did is probably the best way to do it.
Thank
That, and I think the next best way, or the most effective way, is what I always used to say, is it's kind of the same thing you did, and then you chop it up with like behind the scenes content. Here's you guys like fucking around at rehearsal, getting on and off the tour bus,
For sure.
or the in and out of the van, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
Charmobile.
the cliche old shot of like you pan around and you see the band, fucking sound checking.
Yeah.
It's all
I love
empty,
behind the
and then
scenes
Yeah.
you pan around again, and now they're doing it live, and now it's packed. All those cool cheesy shots. They're super easy to do. They're super effective.
For sure.
And then there's what you guys did. Technically, what we did is what we did is a weird one because it's like a live in studio thing. Like we didn't sync that to our track. We didn't play it to a click. We just went in there and we played it. Like there's fuck ups in there.
Sure.
Um,
It's raw though. I
It's the
have an
next
appreciation
best
for
thing.
that because it's like you can also send that to venues and to labels and what have you, and it's like this what you see is what you get kind of deal, which is exactly why we did it, is to be able to promote us and be like, hey, there's a lot of people that
I
tweak a
love
lot
your
of
guys' video.
things.
I thought it was great.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you can tweak in an actual recording, like in the studio, whereas like when you're actually putting out a live show, no tweaks, no nothing. Like I have mad respect for that.
That was it was a very like humble brag sort of thing. Kyle was editing the video, and
yeah.
Wally had sent him the live audio because it was all live recorded, and so Kyle's editing the video.
Oh, you did it too. You didn't do it to a click and sync it up to the track.
It's
We always play to a click, yeah.
Oh, but you didn't sync the video up
No.
to your song.
No,
using
but
the click.
Kyle thought it
You just
was
played it.
like because apparently we play that tight like until the end when Josie says something like off track.
Thank you so much.
yeah,
like
the
God
thing-
bless
yeah,
you
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Thanks for
like
being
he
here.
thought it was the actual like track audio
Yes,
that he was
which
editing
is-
to, and it was like our live audio, and I'm like, oh, that's
Such a
Oh,
flex.
I
It's
did
such a
catch
flex.
that. No, I did catch that. No, you're right. You're right. I did watch that.
Mm-hmm.
Good call. Good call. Yeah, you guys are fucking dope. You guys are dope.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys are dope.
Yeah, we
it's
have a
gonna-
lot of fun.
It's gonna be fun on the 26th. We're
Yes.
opening that stage. You guys play right after us.
Yes.
The ratio. It's gonna get really heavy, really fast. Like,
I know, it's
there's
so
our two
funny.
bands, and then it goes really heavy.
Right. I was poking around because there's a lot of
Smart,
bands on
though.
that
It's
lineup
good
that I
booking.
don't know. And I was going through and listening to some of their songs, and I was like, how do we fit in this? Like,
You don't, and that's the point.
We're this little female-fronted pop rock band, and then you got heavy.
You don't, and that's why you fit, right? Same thing with Montoya. We don't fit. We don't fit that bill, but that's why we fit, because you don't want to just do 6 or 8 metal bands.
yeah, you
Sure.
get burnt out. Like cross genres
Like
the way to go. Like,
Casinatra's not a metal band. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're just not. And so it's diversity, and it brings in a different crowd of people. So there's going to be people that show up to see us that are going to check you guys out and be like, wow, we really like them. And they're definitely going to go to your next show because you guys are good enough for that.
Thank you.
The theory is hopefully some of your people stick around after you're done. And theoretically, here's what happens, right? Girls are going to go see you guys, and they're going to drag their boyfriends. And hopefully their boyfriends can somehow stick around long enough to check out the metal band after
Right.
them.
Sure.
That's the idea. That's the literal logic, strategic reason you do something like this. We used to do it with I shouldn't say we. I was on the bill. I didn't book the bill, but Joe kind of taught me this back in the day, which is we do Ginger Jake, and Bane Hinge, 6 and -3 in one night, because it just gets you
a little bit of everything.
this
going on,
hugely diverse crowd. And now you've got each band bringing 100 to 200 people of their own.
Mhm.
That's 800 people
Yeah.
at a show all of a sudden, instead of let's get the same 4 metal bands that draw the same 200
Same
people,
crowd,
and now there's
yeah.
200 people at this show, and everybody knows each other. Cool, but this is kind of just like an ego fest, you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
No, absolutely. And that's what the 400 bar back in the day we used to do. I can't remember if we talked about that last time on the podcast, but we'd have vaudeville would play, which is kind of heavy-ish rock. And then
Jason,
there'd
can
be
you turn
somebody
him
with,
up in my headphones, please?
piano fronted stuff going on. There was a jazzy trio that would play. And
That's
it's
so
you
cool.
get all that kind of different stuff, and people dug it because
Yeah.
you don't want to go out and get burnt out here in the same 4 bands, play the same type of music.
For sure.
Mix it up, keep it interesting.
Yeah. I think that's so dope.
Agreed. Two dogs making strange noises. I'm telling you, the dog needs a microphone.
Indeed.
She's so old. She's like 15 years old. And
She was really angry when I tried to pet her.
she's just an old bitch.
This chick with
Such an
purple
old
hair
bitch.
coming into my home.
And she's just staring at me. Like,
She is mean mugging the
Judging.
shit out of you. That's awesome.
I just feel so guilty now because she's so old. I don't want to, like, I'm only down here for 3 hours, right? Like, she can hang out. It's not that bad.
She's having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you guys just shot this video. You guys have been doing some cool shit locally.
Yeah.
And then you just did Treasure Island. How was that?
Mhm.
Tell me what that was like.
It was
I thought it was fun.
it was
Good
insane.
crowd? Good crowd?
Yeah,
Great stage, I
There's about
assume?
Oh, yeah,
1,200
stage.
people there, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know what any of us were really expecting, but it surpassed any kind of expectations that we had. Yeah.
Is that the biggest crowd you guys have played as a band?
Yes.
Probably,
Is
yeah.
that the biggest crowd you've played individually in other shit? Because I know you've done some cool shit with your dad, and then you were in
Yeah.
vaudeville. So
Mhm.
I would say that's definitely my biggest crowd that I've played
Really?
in front of. Yeah, for sure. Hands down.
weird how it feels before, and then once you're doing it, it's like, oh, this is the same thing as playing in front of nobody.
I
Like,
mean,
it really is.
I
like,
kind of black out when I'm on stage. Like, I don't remember what happens
that's a
when I'm
terrible
up
way
there.
to explain it. I'm sorry.
No, that's
Because that's actually not true. As I quickly thought about it, I was like, no, when there's a big crowd, like it's a vibe.
well,
Well, it depends on the crowd because
Yeah.
if it's 20 people that are really into it versus 1,500 that don't give a shit,
That's
yeah,
true.
Like,
No, you're
I'll
right.
take the 20 people all day long,
for sure.
but
I meant just the straight up playing of
Oh,
it. Like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you
Right.
get like this excited anxiety nerves
Oh, yeah, yeah.
beforehand, and then once you're
Mhm.
actually playing, you're like, oh, there's nothing different. It doesn't matter if there's 10,000 people or 10 people.
yeah,
Right.
I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you do feed off the crowd if they're vibing. Like,
Absolutely.
Get a little
and
extra
they were vibing.
adrenaline.
Oh
they,
my
they were vibing
gosh,
that night.
they were so awesome. I mean, like everybody had, like we put AJ made rose-colored sunglasses. That's part of our merch because of our song
Oh, really?
"Hey Rose." Yeah, so they're heart-shaped sunglasses that are pink, and then they have stickers and stuff on them. What we did is we bought 600 of them and put them all on seats in the venue before the show started.
oh, really?
So then as soon as we started playing that song, I was like, okay, everybody stand up, throw the sunglasses on, let's take a picture. I want to put it on our social media.
Genius.
So it was
Whose idea was
freaking
that?
awesome.
That was kind of like you and Wally, I think.
Yeah,
kinda
it was a
had-
collective thing because I
Yeah.
said CDs initially,
Mhm.
but then we wanted to go a cheaper route than that.
Well, and the sunglasses were fun though
And
because
sunglasses are so
all,
fun.
all night walking through the casino and shit too. There was like you'd see staff members wearing our
Mhm.
sunglasses.
Oh,
There
shit.
was,
Yes,
there was
security guards were
Genius.
wearing our
yeah,
sunglasses.
fans and stuff.
Like,
So those sunglasses were bloody everywhere.
it was
awesome.
so awesome, and it's exactly what we wanted. Like
Yeah.
it's exactly, and we had little tags on them that had a QR code that would, because we dropped our album the day of that show.
Okay.
So we had QR codes that you would scan, and it would bring you right to our link tree. Is that
Yep.
what we use?
yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
like the
there's our
Spotify
album. It
and
is right
everything.
there for you.
Yeah, this is exactly the shit I've been talking about. Minus the sunglasses thing. That's just pure stroke of genius. But literally,
Really
the QR code, the link tree, like here's the deal. And like that QR code, I'm gonna start doing a version of this on like when we do shows. Like when I run it, we'll have the poster that you put on the venue wall.
For sure.
There should be a fucking QR code there. You scan that, and it should be a unique link tree for just that show with a direct link to each band's either social media or a single from each
Absolutely.
band, so they can immediately check out what's going on at
Right,
that show
right.
if they want to check it out. And then in that same link tree, there should also be one more button for where they can go grab those tickets if
Sure.
it's
Yeah,
the right venue and the
absolutely.
right situation.
That's really cool. I didn't think about
That
that.
is a
for
really great idea.
Poster wise, that's
Yeah.
But then
Really cool.
you guys are doing what everybody should be doing, and it should have been being done for the last 5 to 10 years since QR codes has existed, like on every fucking flyer you put out for your band. So is what I would do is this. Let's say we're doing a local band show, or even if you're doing Treasure Island and you want to flyer this motherfucker, right?
For sure.
On the front of it, on your shitty pink, bright pink paper flyer that we've all done, right? And passed out, You pass that out with the normal flyer, but on the back side of it, there's your QR code,
Right.
and it's for your band's music. So then you can actually kind of show people, like, we're the ones promoting the show.
Right.
This is who we're trying to get you to come see.
Yes.
Kind of the same idea, right?
Yeah, we have it on all of our business cards, like all of our stickers, everything. They all have our QR code on there.
Yep. Send it to your link tree. Is your link tree kind of like an active, like, EPK? Is that kind of... or do you guys have an actual EPK?
We have an
Yeah,
actual
actual.
EPK. The link tree, it's just got like, I think I have our Spotify on top, just like go listen to our music because that's what we're fucking here for. But then it's got like, our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that.
Blue
Our
Sky.
our-
We'll wrap around. We'll wrap back around to this, but yeah, I don't want to get too sidetracked. So you're seeing these fucking sunglasses everywhere.
Mhm.
So cool.
Do you even sleep that night?
I actually...
Adrenaline just pumping you up.
I stayed up the latest out of everybody. We brought our friend Josh Ripley with. He was teching for us, and him and I walked around the casino until 7 o'clock in the morning.
Literally walking.
And we were playing
I've done
slots and doing all the things. We went to bed for like 2 hours, got up for checkout. He was supposed to have rehearsal that day, but it ended up getting canceled. So we went to like 2 different bars, and then I passed out at 6 o'clock that night and slept forever.
Once it dumps.
It
Once
was
it dumps.
so...
It's like...
It was so much fun, though. I could not have asked for a better night. Like, it was
Oh,
my
yeah. It was
birthday. We
wonderful.
released our album, and we were opening for our first national act in front of a shit ton of people. Like, seriously, like, I don't know how my next birthday's going to top
they're,
that.
they're all gonna suck after this.
Right? It probably won't.
I mean, maybe it will, though. Maybe you'll do something.
I hope so.
Not every birthday, but like, yeah, maybe in like a year or two, or 2 or 3 or 4, or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like something else lines up, and you can kind of do the same thing again. But,
No,
Yeah.
I
but
think
maybe
we,
it's
I
bigger
think,
next time. Maybe you're the one headlining at Treasure Island.
That
well,
was pretty
either way,
sick.
I think we got to do Treasure Island on your birthday every year.
I
now.
mean, I'm okay with it. I'm here for that. Like, yeah.
I'm sure Paul would do it for you guys.
He probably would.
make
He's
it happen.
he's so awesome. Like,
He's coming
Paul...
on the podcast.
Is he really?
Couple
Oh
weeks,
my
yeah.
gosh. He's so nice. Their whole staff there, like, I couldn't believe how great they were to us.
Oh, it
Because,
was
like, you know,
awesome.
we're just the opening band, you know? But they, like, bent over backwards. They made the day so special for us. Like, seriously, they were
They didn't treat you like a local band. They
No.
treated you like part of the bill.
Yes,
like
and it
you're-
was
that feels so good when
awesome.
that happens.
I had 2 security guards, so I'm just like standing there signing CDs, all the posters and everything, shirts, and these 2 security guards come up to me and they're like, "Can we talk to you for a second?" And instantly in my head, I'm like, which one of my hooligans fucked up? Like, what?
Who don't you have eyes on?
What do I need? Because, like, you and Shara were both at the booth, and Morley was standing right next to me, too. So I'm like, who am I responsible for that made a mistake? Like, come on, man. So I get outside of the rope, and they're like, we just want to say, first of all, like, you guys were so great. Like, you know, you guys had such a buzz about you. Like, you guys were fantastic. And I was like, oh, thanks. You know, in my head, still being like, oh, I'm in trouble. I did something. And they're like, you know, we heard you announce when you're up there that you guys are going to go after party in the Parlay Lounge. And I was like, oh, yeah. And they're like, if you want, like, we can escort you around. They're like, you have so many people over at your merch booth right now. Like, there are so many people talking about you guys. Like, we can escort you around tonight if you want to, if you feel uncomfortable at all. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Fuck.
Oh my gosh.
That's wild.
It was
So did you
insane.
say yes?
No.
You should have said yes, Justin.
No.
And then you should have
It's a photo op.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right,
that's
right.
what I was saying. Then take the
Oh,
photo.
we did miss that. I
You could
should
have
have.
exploited so
I
much
should have
content from
taken
this.
a picture
and
with
then,
them.
And then you should have had a guy walking around with a camera just filming
Oh,
this.
sure, like
You know,
paparazzi
Oh my
style.
gosh,
Dude,
yes.
You could have exploited this for so much future
Next time we're
content,
there,
like,
we're gonna have
just
to do
farm
that.
it. And now watch, next time it won't happen. Right? Next time,
Yeah, you guys were fine
Damn
last
it.
time.
that's what they'll say. They'll be like, "Oh, we already asked her last time. She
Yeah.
said no, so don't worry about
Well,
it."
it was so
and next time you'll be like, "I really fucking wanted it this time, like
Right?
genuinely."
So Josh was there. Chris Pfister came and teched for us too. His wife Bridget and our friend Ao were there, and they watched the security guys pull me outside, and they knew that they were gonna ask me if I like wanted to have an escort, but I didn't know. So then I walk over there, and they're like, "They better not have taken our jobs." I was like, "What do you mean?" And they're like,
They took our
"We've got
jobs."
eyes on Littlefoot because I have tiny feet. I have baby feet. So my code name when we're out in public is Littlefoot. Who's got eyes on
They look
Littlefoot?
normal to me.
In men's shoes, I wear like a size 2 or 4. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What do you wear in women's?
6 to 4.
That seems pretty normal to me.
I feel
You're not that
that's
tall.
Pretty tiny. I'm a tinier human.
You're not very tall.
No, I am 5'3" on a good day.
Oh, that's funny.
Gotta get you some heels.
You don't want to see me walking around in heels, I promise. You're really gonna have to carry me everywhere.
It's so funny because like most dudes, we might have talked about this last time. Most dudes are into short chicks, but most chicks wish they were taller. Right? Where unlike with dudes, like almost all women want a tall guy, and all guys wish they were taller, unless they're like 7 feet tall, and then they're like, I can shave off.
I think there's a cap around like 6'6".
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
This is good enough. This is good enough.
I dated a guy in high school that was 6'8".
Damn.
See, yeah, that's pretty fucking tall.
That was insane. I mean, I think I still have
Was
a
he
neck
built
injury from
too, or
looking
was
up
he-
to talk to him.
What's that?
Was he like a beanpole, or was he like kind of?
Oh, he was
built too?
he was pretty built.
Really?
What
Yeah.
size shoes did he wear?
I was 14. I
Yeah, I
don't
was gonna say
remember.
that.
Yeah, never mind. I don't want the answer to that question.
Big shoes, bud, big shoes, buddy.
I see.
Yeah, we all see. We all know what just happened.
Sometimes it goes a little over my head because I'm short and I
you're
can do
short.
that.
Too short.
I
Perfect.
beat you to the punch because I hear that at least 5 times a week.
What is the average height for a chick?
I think it's
5'5"?
like 5'5", 5'6". Yeah.
I don't know. I know it used to be a lot shorter because
Mm-hmm.
my mom is 5'7",
Oh, sure.
and she was tall.
Mm.
Like, so average used to 5'4".
Oh, wow.
So you're barely.
So I'm
you're
almost average.
You're barely below average. Come on. And you make up for it in so many other ways.
Oh.
You can't have everything, Josie. Jesus
Well,
Christ.
I call myself fun-sized, so I make a joke out of it. I have a good time with it. I wouldn't change my height, I don't think. I like to climb on counters to reach things, you know. Don't burn your feet on the stove, you know. Make sure you watch
Is that
out for
average you brought up, Jason? Is that globally? Or is that America? Because, like, Asian people be throwing that curve off.
It's true.
It's a
They are
global
getting taller,
average.
though. Did you know that Asian stereotype of them being short and small? Did you know that is 100% nothing more than malnourishment? Like generational malnourishment?
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, so as their food supply and caloric intake has increased, the average height of Asian people is like.
I did not know
Look
that.
this
That's
up, Jason.
crazy.
Look this up, dude. I promise you, if you look between the 60s and now, like the average height of them, they're like catching up. They're catching up pretty quick, actually. Dude, just make it go full size. Yeah, there you go. buddy.
Oh, 5'3.5". So you're
For-
only a half inch off.
Oh, so
So in America,
yeah, for American.
worldwide, it's 5'7", but in America, you're 5'3".
Yeah.
So here's the thing: you are average then. Your average height, because here's the thing: this is like a manufacturing and engineering thing, and this is subjective. So some people are gonna be like, "That is not fucking true," but this is how we do it. 5'3.5" is not 5'4". Therefore, 5'3" and 5'3.5" are the same height.
I like to round up.
Like you're both 5'3", because we're not children.
true.
You're not 12 and a half years old. You know what I mean? You're 12 and then you're 13. See what I'm saying? So you're
I
either
do get
5'3"
that.
or you're fucking 5'4". 5'3.5", you're splitting hairs, motherfucker. Knock it off. Like, that's what I'm 5'1" and a quarter. Get the fuck out of here. You're 5'5". Like,
we need millimeters in here. We got to get real
Right.
down
get
to
the
it.
fuck out.
It's
my
so
God.
Get
difficult.
the fuck out.
That's really funny.
You're 5'3". You're totally average. You're fine.
Oh my gosh. I'm
Feel better about
Yeah,
yourself.
but Jason, look
I
that up.
am mediocre
that
at best.
Just like do a simple Google search. Like, has the average size of Asian people? Have Asian people the
Gotten
average height?
taller.
The average height of Asian people risen?
This was not on my bingo card for this year.
I guarantee because
like it.
here's the thing. I heard this from a super credible person who learned it in medical school.
Oh damn.
So I cannot believe that this person is stupid, misunderstood anything, or had any reason to bullshit me or deceive me in that conversation.
Unless it was just to fuck with you.
Yeah, he knew. Like,
but why?
he
That would
knew
be
10,
so-
years,
it's
10 years
fun.
down the road.
It's
yeah,
fun.
4 years from now, this
Yeah.
idiot's going to cite this on his podcast because I was doing the podcast at this point. He's like, this fucking
He's playing
idiot.
the
I'm
long
planting the
game.
seed. I knew he was a spy.
Props
I knew he
to
was
him.
a spy.
Props
This
to him. He's probably watching this right now, being like, you motherfucker.
dumb bitch.
Oh, fucking, that'd be brilliant though.
If this
That
is all
would
true,
be
if we
props
just
to him.
if we just uncovered the truth, he will come into chat and be like, "Sup, bitch."
He committed to the bit far longer than we commit to the bit.
The average height of Chinese men has been steadily increasing. Apparently, he
Three
was
and a
not.
half inches.
Yep.
He was not
Between
bullshitting.
85 and 2019. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And it's so it's funny because I will like cite this. I'm like, see, they agreed with me. Boom, let's move on. But then if I think I know something and then he pulls this up in this AI interview, disagrees with him, I'm like, AI is bullshit. but again, I heard that from a super credible person, and what he said, the reasoning for that is that stereotype of them being short and stout. It was literally them just not
crazy.
having enough food, which made sense to me because I've seen that happen, like in my family. Like I'm an inch shorter than my little brothers and several inches shorter than most men in my family.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because we were just super poor. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I guarantee, because as soon as I went to boarding school and I had 3 square meals a day, I grew like 6 inches in a summer.
wow.
In a summer.
Oh gosh, I bet your knees were in so much pain.
I was an uncomfortable child.
Weren't we all?
I was because I didn't really gain any weight. I just got way
You just
taller.
grew.
Sure.
So I got thinner.
There's the beanpole you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a very awkward. I remember I seen a photo of me when I was 17, 18, or 19. I don't remember exactly how old I was, but I was old enough to where my parents trusted me to drink in Jamaica because there was no drinking laws. And that's kind of my mom's logic. She's like, it's not illegal here. And her logic was because when my mom and my dad were my age, it was legal for them to drink.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, it was 18
Yeah.
for a long time, and then it moved to 21. So she's like, these are arbitrary numbers. Here it's legal. I trust him. He's responsible. He's not going to get blackout drunk.
There's some people that should be 40 and still not allowed to drink.
Right,
true.
right. Fair enough,
This is
right?
true.
So she
Hello.
so I remember I was at least 17, 18 or 19 and I was responsible enough for that. But I wasn't 21. And I seen a picture of me in Jamaica, and I'm telling you, I was definitely anorexic without knowing it. Like
Sure.
I was that fucking skinny. It was bad.
Wow.
She's got input. She's like, I'm a short queen over here. Like,
Yeah, that's my girl.
Go.
Gone, yeah.
Go. You gotta go. She's got a wonky hip.
Me
and
too.
She's got this. Me too. So she's got a
You are
wonky hip.
the
She
dog.
doesn't like walking, right? But like
Me too.
she has to walk in order to work that kink out, and then she's fine. Like she can go up those stairs once she actually gets her butt moving.
We just got to stretch it out a little bit.
Or come up here in the chair.
You go, girl.
Come up here in the chair. Which one? Gonna be in the chair?
The indecision is real, I
I was
feel.
gonna say
it.
she's indecisive like me too. I think I may have found my spirit animal. And she doesn't like when people touch her. Oh my gosh.
Your spirit.
Except I can't growl at people and it be socially acceptable.
I mean,
Do what you got to do.
my wife recently introduced me to Chapel Roan, so it's
Well,
working for her.
You know, but she's way more famous than we are. So
Yeah, but I have a feeling feeling she didn't just become rude. Like, call me crazy, but I think she's kind of always been a little bit of a bitch. The way she snaps at basically everyone and condescends almost
some of
everyone.
her
I get it,
interviews
it's
are
a
very
shtick.
like, oh my gosh.
I get it, it's a shtick, but the way people are like, oh, it's so refreshing. The honesty. I'm like, it's an act. There's no
I was gonna
honesty
say.
here. This is a WWE character in female form. Like, she's even wearing the clown makeup. What are we even talking about? Like, I've never listened to her music. She's probably brilliant. She's probably super fucking talented. I've never
She
heard
got
any.
some bangers. That's
I
I
was
bet
gonna say
she
there's
does.
a few that I do listen
Yeah,
to.
I bet she does. I'm not even remotely surprised.
Yeah.
But that's part of female artistry. Madonna started it. You know what I mean? Like, fucking all these girls escalated this shit, and everything's got to be fucking chaos. Oh, you didn't shut your phone off?
No, because I'm
It looks like Satan.
bad guest.
That-
It looks like what?
That phone number looks like Satan 333. That's Satan's baby.
That makes sense.
I don't know what you're referring to, but
We'll talk about it on break.
We'll roll with it. What were we talking about? Originally, we were talking about Treasure Island. And
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
somehow
I was
we got
gonna say,
way off the rails.
we
here.
tend to do that.
Well, I thought we kind of wrapped it up, and that's where we got.
Oh, we were talking about the security thing.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
then-
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no,
You could have farmed so much content out of
we
that.
could have. We totally could have. But
And they
yeah,
would have been into it. You could have literally been like, okay, now we're gonna pretend
me
she's
hop on
being
your
a
back.
diva.
Yeah.
Pretend she's being a diva. Like, no.
I can't
you
do
could've
that.
farmed-
I can't even fake that.
But you could have farmed
Let
so
Christopher
much
do
of
that
this and
next
used it
time.
as B-roll down the road in a music
Yeah,
video.
I was
like,
gonna say there's the music video. We
like,
talked
and if you
about.
cut
Right.
it the right way and you speed up all those moments, they become comedic. You know, like you just speed it up to like 1.5 times. So every time you're being like sassy, you're like a little quick, and it's hilarious. Like, oh my god, you could farm so much.
Next time. We'll be back. We'll definitely be
That's
back.
why you always need a video person with you, like a
Dude.
full-time video person.
do.
That's their job.
I do love that because like I do.
You
a
never
little-
know what you're gonna have the opportunity.
Next time
to
we
get.
play there, which fingers crossed Paul will have us back. I hope he will.
I'm sure he will.
You ask him about it on the podcast. Be like, you're bringing them back.
When are you bringing
Yeah,
it back,
yeah.
motherfucker?
Put in a good word for us, Jared.
I will.
And if it's live on the internet, he has to do it.
Exactly.
will
Peer
ask him
pressure
for
at
you.
its finest.
No pressure, Paul. Fair warning.
Comment section.
I doubt he's
let's
watching.
go.
This
Yes. Hype us
I
up.
doubt he's watching this right now. Damn it.
I'll send this clip specifically to him
There
and be
you go.
like,
There you go.
hey, Paul.
No, but I think he's a super classy dude because he went on Care 11, I
Yes,
think, to
yes.
promote the show, and he did not have to.
No.
But he decided to highlight all the bands, including
The openers and locals.
And he was promoting more than one show, but he was like, oh, and that's a local band. Blah, 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 blah. And then we have Bullets and Butterflies, also another local band. Like, he didn't have to do that.
No, I thought that was super cool
But
too.
he's
Yes.
smart enough to know the market that we're in, and everybody here loves a local hero. Like, we are so Ruby when it comes to like, oh, they're from here. They're from here. And it's like, dude, they played high school hockey here for 1 year. Doesn't matter. They're one of us.
They were here.
Unless you
claiming
move
them.
here. Unless you move here, and then we're like, you're not a real Minnesotan until you've been here for like 7 winters.
Right.
Like, at least 3 blizzards.
Gotta earn your stripes.
No, but he's a sweetheart, man. Like, he
So
didn't
awesome.
have to do that, you know?
Yeah, no, I
Fuck, he didn't have to have us on the show, but
Exactly.
he like.
That's what I'm saying. And then he took it a step further.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Like,
2 or 3 things he didn't have to do.
there needs to be more people like him in the
Exactly.
music industry.
100%.
in
That's where I
general.
was going with
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I already had the utmost respect for him for even asking us to do this show. But then once I saw that Care 11 thing too, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is seriously so fucking cool. Because I hadn't actually met him in person till the show. I had only talked to him over messages and stuff. And he's just, he's so great. His staff there is great. Like,
That might be one of
seriously.
those things too, because it was Care 11, right? That's real press. That might qualify you for your own Wikipedia page already.
Oh hell yeah!
Because like if you look into the rules of getting a Wikipedia page,
They're
there's something
weird. It's
weird
weird.
about like you have to be cited in a press of some sort. Like,
well, I know what we're doing when we get home.
because there has to be some sort of citable reference.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it is because I was trying to get way
It's
back
hard.
in the day, like to get vaudeville
Yep,
a Wikipedia
yep.
page, and yeah, there is some
It's
fucky shit that you have to
shockingly
do.
difficult.
Yeah,
So when people make fun of Wikipedia, you'd be like, listen, motherfucker, like, go start a Wikipedia.
Yes,
Watch how
please, I
fast that
dare
shit gets
you.
shut down. Like, you'll launch it, and within seconds, it'll be like, this is not a valid page. This
Yep.
is made up bullshit. And you're like, geez, where did this come from?
but I'm a real person.
And that was 15 years ago. Like, I remember being in my mid-20s looking that up. And I was like, wow, this is actually shockingly hard. And so it was like, yeah, you got to, like, put good enough music out there to where, like, at a minimum, I think we got to get reviewed by some sort of, like, online
Sure.
publication music review thing that has some sort of printed paper, right? Which was like on the way out. So it was almost, and you're like a new up and coming band. So it was like, unless you get signed and you get placed in these things, it seemed almost impossible. But then I seen a few other bands get it done and they never got signed. And I remember it having to do with something like that. Like,
Okay.
they played their local news or something wonky. I'm
Right.
kind of bullshitting right now on
We'll have to
purpose
look
because
into it.
I don't want to overcommit myself. But yeah, it might get you just enough
Just enough clout to have a
Between,
way
Red,
between that and
yes.
opening for a national act
Sure.
at Treasure Island.
Well, there's our next album title. Just enough clout.
Just enough cloud.
Love it.
That's so funny.
Just enough.
Just a little more than mediocre.
So you did that show, and now you're doing the 26th. So those are two badass stages back to back. 'Cause
Yeah.
you haven't done the Lyric yet.
No.
Have you even seen the Lyric? Have you been to that room?
No.
I seen one show there.
Is that the
Where is that at?
sides?
It's Skyway. It's like the second biggest room.
Yeah, because they have what, like
Oh,
3
okay.
rooms in that.
Four,
Is that
Three or four,
the,
yeah.
is that
or something?
because they're using the main stage, and then is it that room that they're using for the 26th?
So, no. So the main room is even bigger, and that's insane. That's like a couple levels.
Is that the one
Okay.
with the slopey floor? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, both
Okay.
the Lyric and the main room both have the sloped floor.
Okay.
But the main room has like stadium seating above it as well.
Oh,
So there's
gotcha.
like a second level up there.
Cool.
I don't think I've been in that one.
The
Shows
Lyric-
how many
I don't think I
times
have
I've been to
either.
the fucking Skyway. But
And the main room, I think if I remember right, the main room is next to Studio B.
Okay.
Now, above it, though, is the Lyric. And the Lyric is, I think the stage is probably the same size as the main room.
Okay.
It just, as far as, and maybe the main, like, floor area is the same size as the main room, but it doesn't have that, like, second tier.
Sure.
But you guys are gonna love it. Like,
I'm
I seen a
excited.
show there because we played Studio B, and then what was that, back in November or something, Jason? We played Studio B, and then Greg did the same thing. So there was a show in Studio B, and then while that band was tearing down and setting up the next one, there was a show immediately.
sure.
5 minutes later, kicks off, and
Awesome.
you go back and forth. It's a really cool vibe.
Yeah, which I love stuff like
And
that.
he's
Was that
doing
the show that I saw you at?
Maybe.
Blackfoot Diesel played that night.
Yeah. Did you come to
Yes.
that show?
I did.
So
Corey and I went to that
The
show.
room that Blackfoot Diesel is,
Yes.
that's the Lyric. That
Gotcha.
big room. That
okay.
big room is
okay.
the
Okay.
Lyric. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, so you have been there.
Yeah.
You're gonna love
That's
playing.
the first
That
time that I
sound
was
system-
ever there.
That sound system is incredible.
Fuck
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I'm
It's
into it.
big. It's loud.
Hell
Don't ask
yeah.
For anything
I
better.
hope we get a
Right?
good enough crowd. I hope we get. That's all I care about is we got to get bodies through that door.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I think
everybody-
it's doable.
I think
All
the
these
promo
bands
has
are
been
dope.
solid through, or from what I've seen, the promo has been solid. So hopefully it'll be
Mhm.
a good turnout,
Yeah.
good party.
It'll be awesome. Then we're gonna go to the green room after too, because the Modern Era is playing there that night.
Oh, when are they playing?
I think they start at like 10:30, 11 maybe.
Oh, okay.
So later, they have 4 bands on that bill that night. I don't remember.
Is the green room? Is that like the sample room here in Northeast on like Marshall or whatever?
Dude, we would drove past that.
Where's
I
the
was
green
gonna
room?
take a picture and send that to them on our way back and be
Yeah.
like, "Is this where you're playing?"
No, I haven't actually been to Green Room yet. She has. But
been a
it's-
couple
it's
times.
uptown, right?
Okay.
You can't ask me where things
Oh,
are. 'cause
yeah,
I don't
I'm pretty
know.
sure it's uptown if I remember.
I'm pretty positive.
Newer-ish venue. in the
It's
cities,
really
but
cool.
Yeah.
It's a really awesome venue. I have loved it every time that I've gone there. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I hate to do
this.
this so early, but I have to pee. I should have peed before we started this podcast. So we're gonna
Ad
play
break.
one of your songs.
Ad break.
Okay, well then I'm gonna pee too if we're doing that because
We're gonna play one of your songs. Should we do the video or one of the two songs?
I mean,
What do you think?
I mean,
you know your music better. What do you think?
Let's
well,
go,
we,
let's go.
we,
the
we
first-
talked about the video, so throw the video.
Yeah.
Oh,
up
the
there.
video.
Yeah.
Oh, great idea.
Yeah.
Look at
It's
this guy. Look at this
you know
guy.
it's like
He's so
cohesive.
smart.
He's
It's
been in the
cohesive.
music business to go add in the music video stuff,
Mhm.
and I couldn't remember the code to get it to work because you have to like use some internet YouTube jargon. And so basically, what
above my
happens
pay
is like,
grade.
basically what happens is I have to like go to your YouTube video,
Mhm.
and there's like in the address there's like a certain combination of letters and numbers. I have to take that, put that in my system, and then do some other YouTube internet code to finish a new unique version of the address. That way, when I hit a button here, it just plays your music video full screen from the top.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's perfect, right?
That sounds like a lot of roundabout stuff.
It is.
for a
It
very
is.
simple thing.
It is, but that way we can just be like, boom, play the music video, and it's done.
Sure.
And then the beautiful part is once you get it set up, all I do is just cut out those numbers and paste them over these numbers, and now I go from that band's video to your video, and it's seamless. I couldn't get any of that shit to work. I couldn't figure it out. It took me months and months and months and months, and finally one day I sat down and figured out the fucking problem was every single video I was throwing up didn't have embedding allowed. That's why I texted you. I was
Well,
like,
when
"Send me
you
a
said
video
that, I
and
was like,
please
I
make
literally
embedding
don't
allowed."
know what that means. So I just sent you the link and hoped that it worked. And if
It
it
did.
didn't, I was going to text him and be like, what is embedding? And how do I turn it on?
It's a little box when you upload a
You
video.
need to go back in time and have some fun on MySpace. Then you'll get it.
Right.
All it means is that I can take your video, and I can put it somewhere not on YouTube, and
Okay.
it'll still play. If you turn that off, it won't work.
Interesting.
Like it'll always go like open app or whatever, and you have to physically go to YouTube
Sure.
to watch it.
Okay.
It doesn't mean you lose any money. You don't
No,
it's still
it's just-
YouTube. You don't lose any ad. There's 0 reasons to not allow embedding unless you're Prince. You have some maniacal control issues over your you know what I mean? Like
That's gonna be me in like 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
This is-
Not allowed.
it just makes you more money unless they're using it like in poor taste, I guess, and you don't want that money.
no press is bad press. So fuck
You know what I mean? Though, like if somebody you don't like puts it on their website, and you're like, I don't really want them to
that's
have
right,
this,
yeah, but-
and
That
it's
makes
like, but you're still making all the money off of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So it
I
still
don't-
works in a backwards way.
Yeah. So like you said, no press is bad press, but yeah. So I'm excited that we got that to work. I just wish we would have been able to hear it in studio because even though I've heard it, Jason didn't.
Well, the next time that we play a song in another break, we'll play it over one of our phones so you can kind of hear what it sounds like, just on substantially shittier speakers.
I just don't understand why it's doing it. It's so confusing to me. Just doesn't make any sense. But whatever. As long as they can hear it, that's all that matters.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, can you hear us? I can't see any comments, but can you hear us?
Yeah, they can hear us just fine.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, good. There it is.
Bring up that chat again. Stereo Sympathy. Hey, can I interrupt the podcast for a minute? I'd like to check out Bullets and Butterflies, but the YouTube link lands on a 404 page not found.
Uh-oh.
That doesn't make any sense. You're here right now.
It's broken.
The
Oh, the link in
Yeah.
the description.
I will fix it
All right,
after.
go fix that in real time. No, you can fix that.
I
now.
can. Okay, I'll go fix it right now.
Yeah, you can fix it.
bulletsandbutterfliesmusic.com.
Yes.
Fucking square.
Did you change it?
What?
We
Did you
didn't have a
change it?
website beforehand.
No, that's fairly...
So I wonder what we pulled up then.
Oh.
That's weird.
I don't know.
Because we just copied and pasted the settings that you gave us from last time. The only thing we added is that, hey, we're both playing this show this time. Because usually it's like Jared's playing drums for Montoya. Here's the date. You know, we'd put that at the very end of the description. The only thing we changed this time is like Josie and Jared are playing this show with Blue Felix at blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So it's weird that whatever link we put in
I
there's
don't know
not
what we
working all of
gave
a
you
sudden.
last time. I'm trying to think.
Well, basically, yeah, that's my point is the link didn't work last time either. Unless something changed. Like,
I was going to say, I mean,
whoops.
probably at that point was more when I was still handling the bulk of that stuff. And once you took over, it got so much better.
So I am a firm believer that your main singer, songwriter, or two people, like some bands it's two people, like the guitar player and the singer, or the drummer and the guitar player, like Metallica, right? It's the drummer and guitar player / singer. But it's always one or two people. Those people should not be involved with promotion or running the business. Their job is to write the music, write the songs, perform the music, perform the songs.
People have their strengths in a band.
Yes.
And, like, I think everybody should have a little bit of a hand in, like, the social media because it's a fucking
I'm not
hassle,
saying
but-
they shouldn't ever be
Yeah.
involved, but it shouldn't be their responsibility.
Right, no, 100%.
Right. The social media and things like that definitely fall on him and I more, but that's because we both have a crippling OCD about it. So when it's not done by us, we're like, it's not right.
Right.
Well, and you're super young, so I feel like if we were in a band together, I would want you to do it
Sure.
versus me. But if I were 20 years old and good at it, it should probably default to not you, is what I'm getting at. What?
You got opinions.
What? She's like, this bitch does not know how to run social media. Don't say that.
You are 105 years old, girl. You don't know shit about the internet.
Love it.
Funny.
No, but I'm a firm believer in that too. Like, just the main songwriter, yeah, make posts and shit. Don't get me wrong, but like that shouldn't be the booker. That shouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, Unless it's a solo project.
Sure.
Like,
Well, then you
that's
did
a
it to
different
yourself.
vibe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's on you.
That's a different vibe. But you guys are like a real band, you know?
What?
You guys are like a real band. You have, like,
No.
an actual band.
When did that happen?
About
It's not-
a year-ish ago.
It's not Josie and the Pussycats or whatever the fuck. What was that? That was a movie, right?
Yeah, that was
And-
a
yeah.
band from like the 60s or 70s or something.
It was a real band? Really? I thought that was just a movie.
Well, I think it was like, don't quote me on this, and I know I'm on the internet, so it's all gospel or whatever. But
Well,
like,
we have a producer.
Rosario Dawson was in
I
it.
think it was like a cartoon or something, but
yes.
then they
It was an Archie comic.
yeah,
Look
but
this up.
then,
Wasn't
but
it?
then they
Look
made
this
like
up.
an actual band out
Yeah.
of it or some shit.
I think
Oh,
you're
so
right.
it was like the Monkees. So the Monkees,
Yeah, 'cause they had-
Monkees were a fake band for a TV show that
Oh,
became
really?
a real band.
I didn't know they were fake
Yeah.
to start off with. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Interesting.
oh, they're there, right there. Yeah, Josie.
Wow.
And her Pussycats.
And then they made a movie out of it later.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Band movie night.
Fucking cool, dude.
Yes. Ash actually gave me like a Josie and the Pussycats comic. I have it in my room.
Were they good?
I don't know.
I
I
think
haven't
it was,
listened to him.
I mean, just generic.
Best
comic
movie
book.
band of all time.
Yeah,
You guys
kind
ever
of.
seen? You guys ever seen a movie called Howard the Duck?
Oh my God, yes.
Best movie band of all time is her band with Howard in it at the end of the movie.
yes. Fucking
It's
Howard
either
the
that
Duck is
or it's
brilliant.
Marty McFly's band.
I'm working
No.
on my movication right now. I go to Chris and my
Yeah,
friends Chris and
you
Bridget's
should- you
every
should-
Tuesday, and
look
we
up Howard the
watch
Duck.
movies.
You should probably put Howard the Duck on your list.
I'll.
It's terrible.
I'm
but
gonna
it's
text
amazing.
Bridget right now
It
and
is-
be
it
like,
is-
"I've been told."
It's a horrible movie because
it's
it was made in
great.
the 80s when they were making a lot of bad movies. But I'm telling you, it is a fucking phenomenal movie. Okay, look at this.
So I'm-
Look at that hair. Oh my God.
Jesse, look at this.
Oh my gosh! Can we do my hair like that for the next
Yes,
show?
please.
So
For the
what's her name?
26th?
What's her name? I forget her name. Leah Thompson.
No.
Okay, it was Leah Thompson when she was the babe of babes. And Howard the Duck, did you know this is a Marvel character?
No.
Howard the Duck is a Marvel Comics character.
Okay, so follow-up question: why has he not been in the new movies?
He technically is.
What? Oh,
He's a
okay.
background character in several different scenes, including Infinity War. He
Oh,
shows
that's
up.
fucking brilliant.
He shows up in one of the portholes. It's just him with a little gun. So go to images, and I'll show you the there
Oh
he is.
my gosh.
So that's the art, and then scroll down, and we'll see him in the new. Keep going. Hurry up. Keep going. Okay, put in MCU or whatever. Howard the Duck MCU. Yeah, there it is. So there he is on the left,
He is
and there he is on the right.
terrifying.
There he is on the right. So the one on the right, the top right, the IGN one, that's him after he survived an explosion. That's why he looks all raggedy. There he is on
That's why he
the
looks
one
raggedy.
the one your mouse is above right there, the Reddit one. That's another scene. No, you were already above it to the left. That one.
Left to the left.
That's an MCU scene as well. And then he's in the What If cartoon, which is the two things to the right of his.
I
mouse
was
cursor.
told that it's allowed to be on the list. So
Good.
It's
Yeah,
allowed.
it's allowed.
So-
I don't get to pick the movies on the list because
To-
I have not watched any movies, really.
So you obviously got inspired by your dad. I was around a lot of musicians, but the thing that really inspired me to become a musician, other than real musicians, was the Marty McFly performance in Back to the Future 2. Sort of the first one when he's playing the fucking dun, 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 but it was when he did Johnny Be Good in the second
I
one.
mean,
I was like,
how
I
can you
want to
say
be.
no on
I
that?
was like, I want to be Marty McFly so bad. Like
I haven't watched
literally-
any of the Back to the
I have a
Future
vest
movies.
today. I have a vest to this day because when I put it on, it makes me feel like I look like Marty McFly, and I love it. I'm such a fucking dork. I don't even care anymore.
Dude, fuck it.
Once you get old enough, I'm a dork.
No,
Yep, just own it,
be
own it.
undeniably yourself. That's kind of the way that we roll things, anyways.
Your generation's a lot better at that. Our generation, not so much. Because you're my age, right? We talked about this last time.
Yeah, I think so. We're close, yeah.
We're pretty much the same age.
Yeah. Just takes too much effort to fake shit. I'm just like, eh.
I thought
no.
you were also 21.
Well, sure. If that still plays, then
Well,
sure.
yeah, it was our 21st birthday together.
If I could pull off 21 still.
What do we got in chat here?
Jade.
Oh, hi.
I'm not.
Oh, hi.
Damn it, Jade. I'm not yours to lose.
So at Treasure Island, that's an inside joke. It's fucking brilliant. And I didn't even catch it until my husband pointed it out. But
Are you married?
yeah.
No shit. Huh?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
How long
you.
you been married?
5 years.
No. Oh, okay.
But,
Crazy.
like right before
They
we
say it gets hard at 7, by the way.
Oh shit. But
It's easy if you're with the right person. It's easy.
But right before we start Not Yours to Lose, like our last song, Josie's got her mic, and giving props to your mic because it's such a short throw that it won't
It
pick up all
is.
the stage garbage.
What mic do you sing with? The deer in headlights that won't ever show up on
The
air.
one thing
Damn
you should
it.
know.
the actual deer in
See,
headlights moment
and if
that
you
I
asked
just
me
caught.
this not on a podcast, I'd be able to tell you right
Just
now.
think about it in the background. It'll hit you.
That'll be the
I'm
last
look it up.
thing
I'm
in
gonna
the
An
look
hour
it
and a
up.
half from now, she's gonna be like, "Son of
Oh my
a 350."
gosh! Right? No, it's a great mic. It like if you pull it this far away from your face, you can't hear anything.
No shit. Huh?
Yep. So unfortunately,
Okay. Anyways, continue.
yes.
Yeah. Well, she was just going, this is our last song. It's called Not Yours to Lose, but she started pulling it away right when she said lose. And so she goes, Not Yours to Lose.
And it's gone. It's gone. And I noticed it, but I was like, nobody else is gonna notice that. And then the next time that I go over to their house, Jade was like, "Oh my gosh, you said Lou." I was like, "No, I didn't. What do you mean?"
Like, I didn't even catch
What are you
that.
talking
What is
about?
your biggest stage gaffe, personally, both of you?
Oh, just my bass playing in general.
Ah, but
Get
shut
outta
your
here.
mouth.
That is a me answer, though. I'd be like, my drumming in general.
Fuck, I'm trying to think.
I don't know what that means.
Your biggest gaffe, like the.
Like my biggest fuck up kind of deal?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so you gave an example, but that's a super
Yeah.
minor one. Like
Yeah.
everybody has had some major ones.
I did play, this was Hotel Caviar
And if
days.
you haven't had a major one, you haven't played enough shows.
I was gonna
right?
say I'm still very green. Like I mean, Bullets has only played
well, no.
5 shows.
You did do the whole wrong verse, you said.
Oh, I did do
for
that.
Right.
one
yeah,
of the songs.
that's a pretty
But
common
I had
one.
a good recovery though.
Yeah,
Nobody knew.
Yeah,
Right,
and
nobody
I mean,
knows.
if the rhythm's there and everything works, it's fine. Like
Right.
you just play through it. But I've definitely started songs in the wrong key.
I'll tell you. I'll give you a great example. That's a great example. I'll give you another great example. Starting a song in the wrong key. So we played our second show at Club Underground, and our drummer. It's funny. I'm the drummer. Our bass player Rich, who is normally a drummer,
Love Rich.
who's normally a drummer. I can see he's getting hot, and he goes, "I need a second," and I can see he's going like this. He wants to set his bass down and take his hoodie off. So me being the seasoned performer I am, decide, okay, cool. And I lean into Rich and I go, I'm going to buy you some time, right? Because I also was a front man. So I just start playing this random beat, and I'm hoping, praying, Jeremy knows to just buy Rich 30 seconds.
Sure.
And Matt should just play a couple chords. Hopefully they're chords of the next song, which they were, by the way. Right? So now we've built this like aura that we're building up to. A few seconds in, Rich goes, never mind. And I go, Rich, I'm buying you time. Just change your fucking sweater. He goes, no, I'm good. Jeremy all of a sudden just starts singing the fucking song.
Oh God!
The beat is
In
not
typical fashion.
the
'cause
beat
why
is
wouldn't
not
you?
even remotely close to the actual song. So we somehow like fumble through the entire first. The beat's way too slow. It's in the wrong fucking groove. It's awkward. It's weird.
That's really
And it takes
funny.
like 2 whole verses into the second chorus before I'm slowly able to shift the tempo and the groove to get it organically back. That is my biggest gap, and it wasn't even me personally. It was just the whole band just not being on the same page about how we're going to handle this moment.
Right.
Which is why I'm a big advocate for when you start playing out with your new band, even if you're a seasoned pro or a very experienced amateur, do
Very
not
experienced
immediately
amateur. I like that.
do not immediately blow your fucking load and try to go open up at Treasure Island for your first fucking show. Play a
There won't be
couple
fuck
small
outs, yeah.
shows,
There's gonna be
work
shit.
out the kinks, see what this band's strengths and weaknesses are, because this band's strengths and weaknesses are different than that band's strengths and weaknesses. And that was a fucking very validating moment, because it was bad. It was bad, but we all walked off stage and it was like, this is why we play these type of shows.
Yeah.
Like these are. I don't want to call them warm-up shows because I don't want to insult the venue or the bands we were playing with.
Underground's awesome. Like, it's a great fucking place. But
And we played fucking second or third or something like that, but it wasn't. We're gonna open for this national.
Right.
act.
There are
Like, we're
bigger
gonna-
fish out there in comparison.
Yeah, and it's like that's why you play these small underground shows is so when you can, and you should do this for a while. You know, a brand new band who's never played a ton of shows, honey.
The way that she just looked up at you is so great. What?
If you're a brand new band and you haven't played a ton of shows, especially as a group, or like our band, man, collectively, if you added up all the shows we've all played,
oh Lord,
Jesus Christ.
You'd be sitting there for the rest of your life
Most
counting
of those,
that.
most of those bands though should probably do what we were talking about for like a year. Like really pay your dues. Like go through all the paces. I'm gonna bring you upstairs. You're getting out of control.
getting rowdy over here.
Seriously, she's.
They say that to me too, baby. Don't worry.
You guys chat. I'll be right back.
Oh God,
Yeah.
now we're rolling solo now.
Oh no.
But
Does this have to be PG?
None of it's PG, but yeah, I mean, you haven't played a shit ton of shows,
No.
but like the swapping the verses again, that was a very we're gonna notice it. Nobody else is really gonna
Right.
notice it. But can you think of something else that you like?
Gosh,
fucked
not
up?
really. Not for bullets. I mean,
Well, even side stuff like anything you've done. Like I'm curious now. Like
I tripped over a mic cable once. But it was so like it wasn't like I tripped and I face planted. It was more of a I stumbled over it and I don't think anybody really noticed it. It was when I was you remember Firefight, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So I did a song with them called Speak Up and they were playing at Doghouse. Ironically, because why would I not? Like, I love the Doghouse so much. I have played so much. Like, the majority of the shows that I've played have been there, and it's awesome. Like, I've been in that scene, specifically in that bar, since I was a baby.
You
Really?
talking about the Doghouse?
Yes.
I knew it.
Yes.
Somehow knew it.
Yes. So I, it was my first time playing with Firefight was there, and as I was walking out onto the stage, I totally tripped over my mic cable.
There you go. Yep, that's one of them. Yeah.
But it wasn't. But like I was saying, it wasn't like a big like I face planted. It was more of a I stumbled over it because I'm literally shaking so much that you can probably see me shaking in the video because I'm so scared. Like that was the first show that I'd ever played without my dad being there. So it was like that's a weird concept for me.
Sure.
In general. Because he's kind of my safety blanket in a way.
Jason, will you open that curtain back up, please?
Sure.
It's getting a little smoky in here.
Sorry about it.
Oh no, it's the combo of the cigar and the cigarettes.
And just the sexiness. I think
I was
we're all
going to say
just-
your smoldering hotness. That too. That'll do it.
But this shit even happens. This shit even happens like with the biggest stars. You know, you watch them. They're walking up and they fucking
And they just
walk
eat it.
right off the edge of
Yeah.
the stage.
Yep.
Sometimes, like
That's
why I
crazy.
asked. I think it's a good thing to talk about publicly because
Well,
we
we're
have all
we're
these-
all human. Like,
we have all these moments that we like edit and put on the internet where we look like rock stars. But it's like we all have the bloopers too. But none of us admit it. None of us
No.
post the bloopers.
Right.
Oh, I
They're always
We
literally
do.
caught by
We
somebody
do.
in the crowd. You know, like
no, I literally posted a thing. One of our TikToks was when we were recording a complicated one of our songs on our album that is out now. There's our
Full
push.
circle.
But Christopher was having like not
heyday.
I don't know, just like he wasn't quite nailing the solo like it should be, and I was trying to film him getting it. So of course I got like 3 or 4 like him fucking up. And so, of course, I put that all together into TikTok.
It's really funny.
But it's like, yeah, we're all human. Like, fuck it. Like, people need to see that, too. Like,
Oh, it's so
we're-
great.
We're not on our fucking A game 100% of the time. Like, I'd say, like, 70% at best. Like,
I had this dude on the podcast. He has got a pretty successful YouTube channel doing like guitar instruction and playthrough and really creative channel. Shout out to Mike. It's called The Art of Guitar. And anyways, he talked about his like first mega video was him talking about how he was wrong. And the previous video he made was a mistake. And here's where he fucked up. that was a popular video.
Mm-hmm.
So like that kind of and that's kind of the point of the story is like the humility and the vulnerability is
Absolutely.
like that's way more relatable than you looking
Yes.
cool or sounding great. You know,
Exactly.
Like we can go
You
look
gotta
cool.
humanize
we can
yourself.
go look cool, you know, on
Yeah.
Saturday and stuff, but Sunday through Friday, we're just the same fucking people that
Exactly.
everybody else is.
And I think that's
Exactly.
great TikTok content too, because I think as musicians, it's hard for us to come up with good short form content because our songs are short form content. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
And then
that
we're
is
trying to
the
shorten it even more.
Exactly.
Right. Like how do we create like for example, here's where I'm going with this. A comedian has a 60-minute set as a headliner. Once they film that, they can turn around and burn bits and clip that down into joke by joke by joke by joke by
Right.
joke.
Yeah.
So it's visual because it's a fucking camera of them performing this live. Pretty easy and obvious, right? With musicians, yeah, we can snip up all our live sets, but like, unless you're already big and you're capturing great audio from every fucking performance, that's not always an option.
Right.
So we got to, especially when you're kind of coming up, I think that's a big challenge. And I think you guys have an advantage being young, part of that generation. And I think you guys are doing a great job of it, of creating that extra content, that short form shit. Let's do something for TikTok. Let's do something for Reels without the cheesy pandering. Because my little brother's your age, and him and I talk about this all the time where I'm watching YouTube, and I was like, dude, I hate all content now. And he's like, me too, bro, me too. And he's like, is it because it's all the same and it's this? And I'm like, yes, dude, it's all, everything is the same repetitive. I'm basically watching 1990s television on
Right.
the internet created by assholes.
I like that. I like that.
It sucks. And you guys are doing a good job of not playing into that. And I think that's
Thank
the
you.
challenge is like, don't get me wrong. No one has to be fucking unique and break the mold and do something stupid. I'm not asking you guys to be Lady fucking Gaga, right? But like, just not being cheesy and repetitive and predictable. Like, oh, well, here's where they are in this cycle. Here's where this. I bet you they're going to make this type of video next. That's the shit
Right.
I'm talking about.
Well, that
and I
was
can do that with most bands,
My biggest qualm, like,
even big bands.
when we were really like, okay, we really need to get on the social media train, like we're lacking in some areas, like especially with the reels and stuff. I had the biggest anxiety before we started doing that because I was like, just me being in front of a camera gives me so much anxiety. I'm like,
Really?
sometimes, like for stuff like that, especially because you don't always know how it's going to go over. So it's like,
Right.
I
Okay,
don't want
see. I know what
us
you
to
mean.
think this looks cool and then everybody be like, she looks so dumb. What is she doing? You know, like that's always my biggest fear. And like, I would say our reels have gone over pretty well. So I don't have that fear anymore. But I remember the first time that we were like going through, I made Mr. Sugar retake videos so many times because I was like, I look dumb as shit. We can't put this on the internet. Like,
That is the tough part, right?
Yeah. Which also, speaking of, we still have bloopers from that we can cut up.
yes.
Right. And that's the genius of it is that's a different type of
Also,
content, right?
to circle back to the mic thing, it's an Electro Voice ND76. I asked my dad.
An EV ND76.
Uh-huh.
That's a nice mic.
Yes, they are great. They
Fancy.
are great.
EV
It
is very nice. I have one EV mic. I have an Audix set of drum mics. This is an EV, an RE20. Good vocal mic, but not. You would never use this live.
No.
This is
We
great
use
recording.
58s for everything else.
Yeah.
58s,
58s and 57s, yeah.
Just throw them on there. They'll fucking do the job.
I learned that my shitty cab here. So I have two Marshall cabs. One is a legit 1960 with like legit 12-inch speakers in it. Sounds great no matter what mic you put on it. This one it's got 410s in it, and it's got shitty speakers. So I learned that the Audix i5 sounds so much better than a 57. A 57 is a little grainy. It's a little tinny. It's a little pushy, how I would describe it, a little pushy. Whereas the The Odyx i5 is a little more broad. It's a little bit more open. Sounds a lot better for that. But that's just literally just that one cab. like in no other situation. But if I ever use that cab live, which I don't know why I would, but if I ever did,
In a pinch.
I would. Yeah, exactly. In a pinch. I would definitely bring my own microphone for that and be like, sorry, buddy, we're not using 57. Trust me. Like,
Believe me when I say.
And any sound guy worth his weight in salt is going to look at an i5 and go, yep, no problem. It's
Which I love that idea of like bringing all of your own gear. Like basically, like we have literally everything. We're just handing you a pile of XLRs. Like here you go. Like we know what sounds good on our gear.
Right.
Like I think that's fucking dope. And I mean, given like Christopher, he plays through a Kemper, like a really good amp modeler. And Wally is mostly acoustic, so I'm the only one with like a real like rig on stage
Yes.
still because I'm
Yes, you
fucking
are.
stubborn. But
Indeed.
but it's like
The man
is that
doesn't
the
even
same
use
rig you
in-ears.
upgraded to when you were in vaudeville?
I did have it during vaudeville. I've gone through like a few iterations of it.
Because I remember that like cup of coffee I had with you guys, where I managed you for like 2 whole weeks.
Yeah.
I remember that very first meeting, we all sat in my apartment, and I looked at you and I was like, one thing, you have to upgrade your rig.
I think
And you did immediately.
Yeah, I was
props
gonna say-
to you, by the way.
Yeah,
props to you.
that must have been pre this then because I got this when I was playing with Kick, so that would have been
Okay.
after that anyway. But it's a custom, custom with a K, like the wrap.
Yeah,
fucking
custom,
cool
yeah.
thing. So it's a bass head. I have the 2x15 cab, which is fucking awesome, but I blew one of the speakers, so we don't use that. But
People used to call them K custom, by the way.
K custom. I mean, it
Right.
works.
Custom with a K. It's
Well,
the
because
same
like
thing.
everybody's like custom, and I'm like, what do you mean custom? What do you do to it?
Right,
I'm
right.
like, I didn't do shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, way back in the day, people called that K,
K custom. I
yeah.
like that better. But then I play it through an Epiphone guitar cab. It's a 4x12. It's a really fucking cool cab.
Really?
Yeah.
So 10-inch speakers.
I think
They're
they're
12-inch
They're
speakers.
12s, yeah.
12-inch speakers.
But it's like punchier than the 15s, but it's still
Right, of course,
like,
yep.
like it's got enough low end that it sounds like a bass guitar. So
That is why. So Rich plays through my Mark bass cab. He's got his own head and power amp and all that shit. He plays through Sans amp, which is what mine's hooked up to, a Crown amp through a Sans amp. So I get all my tone through a Sans amp.
Sure.
And then we push that through the Mark bass, and I got an 810.
Oh, okay, sure.
Right, and this
Beefy
fucking thing,
fucking rig.
dude, it's light though because it's got the neodymium magnet, so it
okay.
weighs nothing. It weighs nothing. It weighs nothing. But I agree with you 100%. And the reason I'm so adamant about this is it's actually just simple math, and we're losing Josie real fast here.
Yep.
I can feel it. I haven't even looked at her. I don't
You
even
lost
want to
me
look.
at cab.
I don't even want to look in this direction. But
I am
but-
not a
but
gearhead.
This is music geekiness.
I'll see myself out.
And I do want to finish this though. It's simple math. Okay, so when you have 8 10-inch speakers, you're pushing 80 inches of air. Okay, when you have one 15-inch speaker and 4 10-inch speakers, that's only 55 inches of air. So it's actually pushing less as well.
Sure.
And I can achieve the same amount of low end response from an 810 as you're going to get from that 115. So
Yeah.
I don't even need the 115.
I like it
And
for
I
the
get
feel,
all
but
the
yeah.
mids. I get all the mids and all the other shit. But the only real benefit to it is it's just one. Right? If you want to hook up multiple and you don't have a problem doing with that, I'm not saying that this is the way. It's just I have this, it works, it sounds fucking awesome. I prefer it. I love it. But if you can get a good tone out of I don't give a fuck what it is. That's what you should do.
Yeah.
And that's the real argument here is like it really doesn't matter what you're playing through. If you can push enough air that you can fill the room, if the PA isn't sufficient in a shitty bar, you still sound great, you're good. If you're playing in a stadium and you're playing through the main PA for the most part, but that tiny group in front of you of 150, 250 people, that's where that air is going. That's what you're doing, is you're making it sound good for them too. That's the important thing, is just get it to sound good, push air.
Nice. I feel like that's a whole nother podcast you and me could do, is just
Right.
geek out about gear. Like,
I'll just be your DD that night.
dude, I love that shit. I've gone through so much gear from cab head, rig.
It matters though. It matters
guitars,
so
like,
much to
yeah.
sound good live.
Well, and they all have different fucking character and different like qualities, good or
Can you
bad.
sneak me one of these behind you, buddy?
Like, but it's I love the process of like going through gear and finding what makes you sound good, and I think I've finally achieved where I like my rig a lot.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause
Yeah.
I've been through the ringer with fucking different rigs and broken rigs and shit. But
And to make it a little bit more relatable for you, this is something that your dad just did for you because he knows your voice, he knows the industry, he knows the gear, and so he's like, this is the mic you're going to use. However, if you didn't have Wally in your corner, you would have gone through the struggles and perils of most musicians of buying a shitty mic, then buying a slightly nicer mic, then buying a really nice mic, and then realizing that's not the right mic for you.
I'd still be using a 58 right now, to be honest. That's probably where it would be.
But maybe this is a 10-year journey that you haven't gone through yet.
Sure.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, in every musician does this. Like, so even in rehearsal, I realized because of our room size and the way the gear's arranged, like, this mic doesn't work for Jeremy. Even though it sounds better, it, like you guys talked about rejection and all that kind of shit, like, it matters. And to get sounding great on stage is the difference between bands that make it and don't, oftentimes. You know, because you could put out a great record and have fucking elite sounding music, and if you fucking suck live, eventually people are not going to want to come out.
Right.
No. Like,
So-
they might go stream your shit, but they're not coming out live, and
Right.
No.
that's
where
why
you're
we
gonna
do
make
this.
That's where you make your money, exactly.
And that's
why
also
we
the
do
most fun part about
Yeah.
doing music.
100%.
Recording, listening to your music, very cool. Hearing it on the radio, very cool. But playing your music in front of people,
Nothing like it.
there is literally zero feelings in the world that are like it. There's a lot that are close, like making a room full of people laugh, being a comedian, very similar. Playing in front of a huge crowd and making a great sports play, an athletic play, whether you're
Sure.
playing baseball and getting the crowd to roar, that's very similar, not the same. And especially, and I'm excited, you might have already experienced this, but if you haven't, I can't fucking wait for it to happen to you, because it happened to me 3 times, and it was towards the end of Dying Euphoria, where we were playing to very well-filled rooms. Maybe not sold out, but, and it didn't matter if it was 300 people or 1,000 people. They were basically sold out. And there was enough people in the crowd who knew our music that they were screaming and singing my lyrics back to me.
That's so fucking cool.
That feeling is the same thing we're all talking about, but then like amplified to a couple more degrees that only a vocalist will ever experience, because
Yeah.
you don't get to write lyrics.
No, nobody.
Well, I mean, maybe you do, but
No,
you're
I
not
don't.
singing it. But let's say you did. But like,
We'll collab on the next one, baby.
now maybe if you're doing backing vocals, you could resonate. Like, especially if you're like, I wrote this line and I'm singing the backing
Sure,
vocals,
sure.
and then you see some kid in the audience, then you could experience
Sure,
that. But
but yeah, as a vocalist, like I totally
Yeah.
agree.
It
like,
is.
that's-
It is
maybe as a
so
bass player,
cool.
some dude's doing this.
I do
gonna find
that to him when we're on stage, actually. So.
I'm going to find that guy after the show and be like, "You nailed my bass part."
You know what I'm
played it
talking about?
better
The other
than
guitar
I
players,
did.
like when a lead guitar player's doing a really great solo, and other guitar players come up and they start going like this below him, like that's that vibe. But it can't. It's not the same. And
Yeah.
I hope you get to experience that if you haven't already, because it's the shit.
We played my hometown back in January with Trading Faces and Anxiety Society.
Oh, is that like that Wednesday night thing or whatever?
No, it was a Saturday.
yeah.
Oh, was it?
It was January 18th.
Okay.
That was a crazy cool night for me personally, because it was like there
Is that
were
in St. Paul?
No, I actually graduated from Maple Lake.
Oh, this was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yes,
oh,
this was in
I
January.
thought this was super recent.
No. So it was back in January. It was like one of the coldest days that we had in the year. It was fucking awful weather. We packed,
200-300 in there.
Wow.
I think 280. And there were people there that I hadn't even seen since high school, or like talked to at all since high school, that were singing the words to our songs.
Wow.
And there was I think Abandoned Ship and Hey Rose, it happened the most, but I really remember it distinctly during Abandoned Ship when we hit that first chorus. People were jumping, people were singing it. It was so cool. And I feel like I talked to you about that after the show, because I was just like, I don't even understand how these people even know these songs. Like,
Because didn't Abandoned Ship, or what song did we just drop like shortly before that? There was one we talked about, I think, where it's like,
I don't remember. Abandoned Ship we dropped in September.
okay, maybe there's something else, but yeah, like either way, it doesn't matter. But now that the full album's out too, like it's only gonna get more.
Exactly.
Like people are gonna know those fucking songs.
It's so cool.
They're gonna sing them right back at you.
Exactly. And even in like when we played at Treasure Island, there were the majority of the people there had no idea who we were before we took that stage. They had no idea. But they all cheered at all the right spots in the breaks of the song, and that was so cool. Like we have a song called The Hurt that has a very big build. The end is just monstrous, and the second I hit that big belt at the end, people went insane, and it was the coolest thing ever. Like there are bits and pieces that I do remember of that show where my adrenaline wasn't fully taking over, where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna start crying right now. Like it was seriously one of the coolest experiences ever.
That's amazing. That's so amazing.
More to come, darling. More to come.
I remember.
Here's to making it happen.
We did. You were talking about the Doghouse earlier. I remember we played a show there, and it was sold out. We weren't headlining, but it was sold out, and we played late enough into the bill where it was full. Mm-hmm. And this is why I called myself out earlier, and I went, "That's not true." So we're playing this show, and I am vibing like hard mid-set. And I am my ego. And when I talk about my ego in this regard, it's a confidence thing. It's not like I'm the shit type thing. It's just like I think I can do almost anything I want right now, right? Like the vibe is set. So I yelled at the crowd. I'm like, I want to crowd surf. I've never crowd surfed before. So I want everybody to get closer to the stage. And it was already packed, but somehow you see everybody get a little closer and a little tighter. The band starts the song. We go through like the first intro. I sprint around stage and I launch myself into the fucking crowd as the first verse is starting. I flip over. They pass me through the majority of the crowd while on my wireless mic I'm screaming my entire first verse. They throw me back up on stage and my feet hit the ground perfectly on time with the break. Boom! And I go, fuck yeah! And the fucking crowd loses their mind.
That's
there is a
so
video
awesome.
of this on the internet.
So dope.
There is proof of this. I don't think you can find this, Jason, but see if you can find this. Dying Euphoria at The Rock. See if you can find it.
I will never crowd surf because I am far too dainty and terrified. But I wish that for you. I would love to watch you fucking crowd surf.
I've never done it with an instrument. I've done it at shows, but never like playing a show.
I think it needs to happen.
It's one of those moments that you described, though. Like you'll never forget that. Like you may never achieve that exact feeling again. Honestly, your band's good enough. You probably will. It'll probably just keep building and getting better and better. But for me, it was like you definitely
we peaked.
I definitely. Well, and that's what I was going to say. I didn't know I peaked that night. But I never got to do that again.
Sure.
I played in front of some big crowds, but there's like an 8-foot fucking barrier between me and the crowd. I can't do that. Like, it was just the perfect storm of ingredients where I was like, mid-set, like as we're playing this song, I'm like, oh, dude, hold on. And I'm going, in a metal band, right? And I'm like, hold on, I think I got an idea here. The song ends, and I'm like, all right, motherfuckers, this is what's up. And
That's so awesome.
It worked. It was just a perfect aligning of the stars. And I guess where I'm going with all of these things that we're talking about here is like, and I think I brought this up last time, it is so fucking hard to put together a band at all. Mm-hmm. It is so hard to get from that to writing a whole set of music, to even be able to play a show. Mm-hmm. And then the next year to play your first show. Most bands break up right there.
Right.
Like the overwhelming majority of bands don't even get there, and then the rest of them break up. So then, like, no, this is like, we're going to keep playing this.
Right.
Do you know how many of those bands suck? Like, they're fucking terrible. But just to get to that level, pay them all the fucking respect.
For sure.
And then if you're good, fuck. And then if you write good songs, oh my God. And then if you're actually pretty good live, fuck. You just keep, like, pushing yourself into this tier of, like, and I don't think a lot of us appreciate it. And then you're opening for nationals. People actually like your music. Mm-hmm. It's building. The tier you just keep getting. And it just, like, you think you're at the top of the pyramid now. And then you're like, oh, no.
There's more.
But what you realize is all the tiers that you pass below you. The pyramid, you're already in this top tier. The pyramid just keeps getting bigger, and another tier or two always seem to appear above you. But it's so hard to explain. I'm doing a shit job of it right now, but I think you guys get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
it's very rare just to get to the spot that all of us are at right now.
Sure.
Let alone what you guys are doing.
What's really cool for us too, and I think this is what kind of sets us apart, like we had such a chemistry already, or you guys did for sure, first going into the band and even getting it started, because you and Shara, and when we were with Jimbo too, and having my dad Wally in the mix, you all had worked together for so many years and had been so close for so many years. And then just throwing me into the mix on top of that, it was seamless. It was so easy. Yeah. And all of our personalities are incredibly cohesive. We can have a great time. And now we have Morley in the mix as well. And it just, it works very well for us. And I think that translates very well for us live too. You can tell that we're all so comfortable with each other and we're all close, even music aside. Like we can go out and we can have drinks and we can go have fun and do dinner and do all the things, because we do all have that kind of friendship, which I think is so awesome. And we're incredibly lucky to have that, because not a lot of people have that within their band, you know?
There can definitely be, and I don't think I've personally been privy to it as much because I've been spoiled fucking rotten with the bands I've been in. But I've seen it with friends' bands and different stuff. Like, there could be animosity where it's like, fucking guitarist doesn't get along with the singer, bassist doesn't like the drummer, like that kind of bullshit. And that's fine. Like, you can go play shows together, but it's like, it's not the same, especially if you're in it for the long haul. Like, you need that camaraderie and, like, that kind of ability to coexist and enjoy each other's company.
And don't get me wrong, I don't think it has to be duckies and bunnies the entire time.
No, it's never going to be that.
Because I have a cheesy phrase that I live and die by, but you can't create fire without a little friction. And then my second step to that is you find me a band that gets along perfectly all the time, and I'll show you a shitty band that doesn't write good songs. That's just part of it, because that means nobody gives a shit. Right? Now again, this is a little different if it's a solo project or one person writes everything. Right? Like that vibe can change a lot, because a lot of times that takes the stress out of a lot of that stuff. But I'm just talking about a normal, everyday, average band. There's usually a little bit, because that means people care. Right. Or you're going, hey man, I want to be around, but I don't like when you do that. If you don't fight, that usually means you don't give a fuck. At least that's the way I
mean, I feel like we've been incredibly lucky in that sense thus far, where we haven't had any big group falling outs of oh my gosh, this is something that's going to change our chemistry and this is something that's going to destroy us internally.
The bulk of us got that out of the way before we
joined. That's what I was going to kind of get at, is
that's true.
That goes to what you said, is they had already worked together for so long.
I am a little lucky ducky where I got exactly who I wanted to be in my band. That never happens.
Well, you also grew up in the industry, and you're not a diva. So
thank you.
I mean, those two things are, that puts you
if I
in the positive so much.
Gave a remote sense of diva-ness, I would get grabbed by the ear and pulled off stage so fast.
By any one of the four of us.
Any one of you would be like, Josie, what the fuck? And I expect that. If I ever give an ounce of that, I would expect these guys to be like, you're an idiot. What are you doing and what are you saying? Are you hungry? Is that your issue? What's going on?
Here's a Snickers.
Exactly.
I don't yourself.
I don't act that way, and I hate the attitude. I hate the ego. We all, no matter where you're at in the industry, we've all worked our asses off to get to where we are. So why can't we just respect that? Yeah. Don't act like you're some big fish because you're doing X, Y, Z. You could be just as good as a band that's completely underground and nobody knows who they are.
Look how far we've come, though. Jason, play this video. Well, I guess you could unmute it. It doesn't really matter. I don't think we're going to get flagged. But look how shitty this looks. It's just all pixels.
That's 320p.
But I'm that skinny little thing walking around, and I go, I'm going to crowd surf. Everybody fucking starts moving up. I don't think, can they hear this? No. You could unmute it. It won't matter to me. We can hear it now.
You're going to get copyright struck.
By mine. So here I go, and then I launch into the
Oh my
crowd.
gosh!
And then they push me around, and through this whole thing, I'm singing my entire first verse. They almost dropped me right there. There's clearly some women.
Josie's in the crowd.
And then they spin
Right.
me, they lift me back up, spin me around. They throw me on stage. I lose my mind. The entire crowd fucking goes nuts.
That's so awesome.
That was, yeah, and I had no idea I was peaking.
I love that you have that on video though too, because you get to look back on that and be like, "Holy shit, this was such a monumental part
Yeah, it
of
just
my
looks
career."
like shit.
Just personally, right?
I'm like, I promise those pixels are me.
I swear.
You could play any other video that looks
When
like this and be like, "That was me," and I'd be like,
Exactly.
"Okay, cool." Like,
Yeah, when I
Dope,
play
man.
this when I play this for my kids someday, and I'm gonna be like, I know what I'm talking about. He's gonna be like, that's not you. You're way fatter than that.
yeah, there's not enough pixels there.
Yeah, you're missing about 30 or 40 pixels around the belly area, Dad.
Dude, I love that shit though. Like, cause I will still go back on some of my old bands. Like, I remember my dad would record some of like Axis of Actions shit on literally this little Sony Handycam. It had like these DV tapes that you
Yep.
put in there and shit. And that thing probably shot 480p too.
Right, yeah.
But of course, I have it all like on my YouTube and stuff, also unlisted
Yep.
for a reason. But it's like watching back on that. It's like it's
Axis
cool to
of
see like the
Action,
shit that you
baby.
did in the past.
Yeah.
Like fucking look how far you've come, sort of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
What's that dude's name from Linkin Park? The rapper dude, Mike
Mike
Shinoda.
Shinoda.
yeah.
Have you guys heard this video or this story of his daughter's playing guitar, and he goes, "Hey, I think it would be better if you played this chord at the end of that instead of the chord you're playing." She goes, "Ugh, what do you know about music?"
Oh my god.
And so he just kind of like leaves it alone, right? And then later that night, she comes up and she goes, "So hey, what were you saying about that chord?" And he goes, "Yeah, you should play this whatever fucking chord instead of that chord you are playing." And she's like, "Oh, that is better." And then so he lays down with his wife to go to bed that night, and he goes, "Man, it was really cool how she like came around." And his wife starts laughing, and she goes, "That was me." And he goes, "What?" And she goes, "I showed her a video of you performing in front of 20,000 people for Linkin Park," and she goes, "That's Dad." The daughter didn't
She
even
just didn't
know.
know.
Oh,
She didn't
wow.
even know her dad was a prolific level songwriter and rock star.
See,
He's like,
I have some
"That
respect
F-chord
for that
doesn't work."
though.
Like,
Like, I think that's cool to kind of be able to separate that a little bit when you get to a certain extent. Like,
Sure.
you know, it's the same reason I don't have any of my friends outside of the industry on any of my social media. Like, I don't have any of my personal stuff on my social media for that reason. Like, I like to keep the two separated.
Yeah, yeah.
So I have respect for that, but that's also like a cool thing to be able to show your kid yourself instead of like, you know, or your wife for his case to
Right.
show your kid.
Like, no, your dad does know what he's
Yeah,
saying.
like
Maybe
He
give him
might know a thing or
He
two,
might
like-
know a couple things about a chord
know
or
a
two.
thing or two because I've seen a thing or two.
Right.
You know?
Have you guys ever gotten any bad criticism, and without naming names or singling anybody out who may be watching, but like, can you give a vague example of? Because I don't want to do the same thing, but I got one critique and criticism of our video that we just released,
Oh,
and
really?
like, and I just like looked at it and I went, "Fucking for real? Like, go fuck yourself."
See,
Like, and it could have been a dozen things where I would have went, yep, I feel you on that one. You're right. We'll get that one in the next
totally
one.
off the wall, or
But this, I read it and I was like, go fuck yourself. Like, what the fuck? Who the fuck? Dude, fuck you, man.
Right.
You know, and it was somebody super close to me, so I didn't even respond
Oh,
to the
damn.
comment. Super close to me. And it was like, I
Is that-
didn't ask you for your fucking opinion.
Is that-
We do not have a relationship where you get to critique.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're super close, but we don't have that fucking relationship.
is that better or worse than a complete rando on the internet?
Worse. Way worse.
Worse. Okay.
was
worse.
it Wally?
No, it would have
Just
been.
fucking with you.
It's way worse because if it would have come from a rando on the internet, you would easily dismiss it as a moron,
Yeah,
a troll.
Sure.
Like,
Sure.
did you just make this whole thing up? Like, what an obscure criticism. Of all the things you could have picked out, that's it? Dude, dismissed. Rando on the internet. But this is somebody close to you, right? So you're just like, this is somebody I used to think had good opinions on things.
Sure.
Now immediately, because this is such a ridiculous critique, it's like it affects the credibility of this person going forward.
Sure.
I have to keep that vague because I don't want to single that person out because they could be watching right now. But it's just like,
Hi, if
I
you
am
are.
super
You know
open
who
to
you
critiques
are.
and criticisms, and I usually ask for it.
Mhm.
But this came completely out of left field, completely unsolicited, and I
Right.
also think it's total bullshit. I'm like, that's the fucking dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like I said, I didn't even respond. Normally, I'd be like, oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Well, that's
Have you guys ever gotten anything like that at all?
I mean, we've gotten them from just like online trolls that we don't know. I personally, regardless of who any kind of criticism is from, like if I don't agree with it, I just laugh it off. Like I think it's funny. Like
What's the worst one you've gotten? Like the best example of a bad piece of advice or criticism you've gotten towards song, performance,
for me
image.
on our bullets page, we have my dad and I did an acoustic version of Too Gray, just like completely live. We shot it at the studio. And so somebody commented on it, which I thought was so hysterical. And I was with you when I first saw it. It was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty good for dive bar karaoke. And I just fucking lost it. I thought it was hilarious. I was like, yep.
What a weird thing to say.
And I commented back and I was like, oh, thank you so much. You think it's that good? Like,
Which was the best response.
right.
The best
And it's
response.
like, why would, like, I think giving your time and energy to something like that is stupid. It's like, okay, this person is probably living in their like mom's basement, you know, and just going on YouTube to comment on people's crap to just make them feel bad about themselves, to make themselves feel better, which obviously is not the case anyways. So it's like, I don't even give my time and energy to that because I think it's worthless. Like, I just laugh it off. And I'm very much like that with anything in life where it's like, yes, please shoot me down, make me laugh. Because I probably agree with you to a certain extent anyway.
It's like you can't take, like, obviously I'm open to like criticism and especially critiques, like
For sure.
on
If
our
they're
stuff.
valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have a couple. I've only deleted one comment on our social media because it got into some like.
It was
and
incredibly derogatory.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry for calling you a whore in public.
No, you can call me a whore all you want. But no, this wasn't even directed at me, but they were fucking like gay bashing about some video, and I wasn't even in the fucking video, and I'm the only fucking fag in the band, so it's like, what the fuck? So I deleted that one because like I'm not okay with like the hate speech, but there's been a few that I just like, I'm not even blocking these people because I'm like, I'll leave these comments up like so people can see you're a fucking just whatever. And one of them was on our YouTube. It was after the Treasure Island thing.
Oh, that's right.
And it was again.
It
like,
was
why,
so great.
But it's
It
like,
was so
but
great.
it's like, why are you even putting your time and effort into this? Because it was like somebody had commented like, "Great job! Like you guys were awesome at Treasure Island." Blah blah blah. Thank you so much. That's awesome. And then some rando comes in there. They weren't that good.
But
And I
then
was like,
somebody commented back to them.
oh, did they?
Yes.
Oh, I don't even. I
And
don't
we're
know.
like-
This is what I was going to say. Go ahead.
It was so great because we didn't even have to do any of the dirty work.
Pull that mic a little closer to you.
Somebody, so that person said like, they weren't even that good. Somebody
Which is valid. Like, have your
Sure.
opinion. Like whatever.
If
but-
you think I'm trash, please tell me. That's great. I will laugh because okay.
But when these other people defend you,
But this
now
other
you know.
person jumped in and they were like, I was there too, and they were fucking
Yeah.
awesome, which is so cool.
Validating.
Like, I don't even
Yeah.
have to fight for my own life
Yep.
in my comment section. Somebody's doing it for me. Like, I respect
And
you,
both
man.
of those comments are user engagement, which shows the algorithm
Exactly.
that this is
Yeah, I'll
something
take
people
it.
should be
Right.
interacting with, which makes it go to a higher audience. So it's all, like you said at the beginning, there's no such thing as bad press.
Yeah.
That is still true to this day.
And I don't think some of those trolls really get that. Like, the more and more you comment the crappy stuff on our page, the more and more people are going to see it.
Yeah.
Especially
So it's
if
like
you,
you're really helping us in the long run.
and they're the ones that look like the asshole at the end. So it's like cool.
especially if you do
whatever.
the TikTok thing where you like highlight that comment and then a whole ass video responding to it. So they're
yeah.
they don't even realize they're literally giving you content
Yes.
to farm.
Thank you.
Thank you for providing me
Which
an entire 30-second TikTok I can now make.
Exactly.
Like literally roasting you.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you post that comment and then your entire video is just you reading the comments of other people roasting that guy for roasting you.
Uh-huh.
Now
It's a
you've-
whole beautiful
it's
cycle.
a beautiful fucking feedback loop that if you use properly, it's positive.
Yep.
If you use it negatively, it's negative.
Yeah,
but
and
that's on you, you know.
And back in like way early days, is like 2000 fucking like 6. Like I would get butthurt about like YouTube comments and stuff, but now it's like, no, I'll delete like anything that's like hate speech or derogatory because fuck you.
Sure,
But
and that's 100%. You're right.
Yeah, but
you're not Twitter. You're not obligated to take free speech
No.
for everybody. This
No,
is your
no.
fucking page. You do whatever the fuck you want.
right. But
I fucking block people, put them on timeouts in chat. I do shit all the time, all the fucking time, dude.
But anything that's just like, oh, they weren't that great. Like that's fine. That's your opinion. I'm gonna leave that there. So then these people can be like, no, I thought they were awesome.
they were
and,
dope.
And it's, again, if they didn't like us, that's cool. I don't know why you had to go out of your way to fucking say
Right.
that. Like, cool, I guess, if that makes you feel good about your life. But it's like, I'll leave that up. And
Didn't everybody's mom tell them that if you don't have anything nice to say, don't fucking say it at all?
that's
Well-
not how the internet works.
Okay, hold on. When we're talking about creative shit, yes, I agree with that 100%. But when I see some of my friends posting some stupid shit about politics, every once in a while, including me, somebody needs to come along and throw some fucking water on that fire. Because some of y'all get a little fucking crazy with your opinions.
Sure.
And somebody needs to be the sober voice in the room, no matter how much it pisses everybody off. Sometimes, and it's happening more often than not lately, where somebody needs to go, this is a dumb fucking argument. Everybody here is stupid.
I mean, there's
I miss
I
it.
need to be better at just leaving the room after I do that, because I will be
Right.
that guy. I just need to leave. What I need to stop doing is arguing with everybody about why it's stupid.
right. Well, there's the
I
like.
miss it because I
You
still
love
have my
to troll.
Facebook, but I don't have Facebook on my phone anymore because I don't want to say troll, but it was trolling, but it's like pointing out obvious fallacies and bullshit, and then I was very cathartic, but also pissed me off all the fucking time.
I'm
He would get
about
very
there.
upset.
I'm about there, dude. I gotta either do that or I gotta like switch up the way I like think.
You gotta, I mean, having the mindset of like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. It's like, you can tell people what you think
Yeah.
all the time. It's not going to change what they think.
Sometimes
So,
it can though. I've had
to
people,
an extent.
I've literally had, and this is why I'm so like I won't self-censor. I won't stop. I just got to find a better way of doing it. Is because I've had people personally message me, both from my Facebook rants and arguments with people, and from this podcast, where people are like, no, "You guys actually changed my mind." Like I actually no. I'm glad you guys talked about that.
And that's
'Cause-
cool.
Sure.
And I think a smart
Especially on the
discourse can do that.
podcast, but it does happen on just regular shows. So when people are like, you're not going to change anybody's mind on the internet. That is a fucking bullshit argument designed to shut people down and get them to self-censor, because I have absolutely changed people's minds via Facebook, having legitimate arguments, sometimes heated, sometimes civil, but like I've absolutely changed minds on subjects. And
Sure.
I've had my mind changed on subjects, sometimes in an argument, sometimes observing somebody else's argument. So
and again, if it's like good civil discourse about
Exactly.
that, then absolutely like have those. I don't even want to call them arguments. I'd rather call that a conversation.
A debate.
sure.
Yeah, debate. Yeah.
Rather.
I don't like debate, because debate is like a form.
Yeah, well, I guess that
You
was
know what
like
I
if
I
you
like
think back to high
conversation or
school.
argument better, because that's human. Debate is like a formula. It's like a
There-
you get
there
1
was
minute, I
debate
get 1
class in
minute.
high
now
school.
you get to rebuttal. Now I get to counter rebuttal.
I mean, that's your own connotation of that, though. Where
But
like,
either way, semantics are semantics.
Yeah.
Good conversation is good conversation. If you're just a fucking asshole troll that's just like
Yeah,
no,
I think conversation is the best word for it, because
Sure.
that's what I think most of us are trying to have, and including me. I think a lot of us are really bad at it online, which is why I like the podcast, because we can have super civil discussions about super controversial topics on the podcast, and everything's fine. The moment we start talking, the same people, as soon as we start talking about it online, suddenly we're calling each other horrible names.
well, you also
and
can't.
everybody's an idiot.
That's
Like,
a big
it's like,
problem too,
what?
because you can't hear how the other person is actually delivering what they're saying. Delivery is everything, no matter
100%.
what you're doing.
100%.
Like,
I think your generation is better at that than our generation.
well, that's because we use emojis.
Well, maybe.
If you don't add an LOL at the end of a conversation, you are being an asshole.
Yeah, you're probably right. I also think it's just you grew up in it, whereas
Sure.
like it
Sure.
got thrust upon us at the end of high school.
Right.
Like we grew up a whole ass life without it, and then boom. Because my little brother, your entire generation, all my little brother's friends, You guys all talk about this shit as if you have the wisdom of a 60-year-old. That's why we call you guys Zoomers.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
That's
people,
funny.
So people from my generation, Jason, turn that
Party
off.
foul.
Dude.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, turn that off. You're a producer on the podcast, so I give the guests enough shit about it. You should have heard it enough by now. Turn your fucking phone off. We call you Zoomers because you guys are Gen Z, and some of you have the wisdom of boomers. Like actual baby boomers.
That's really funny.
And it's because you grew up and you're just like, yeah, what are you talking about? Handle it like this. And then there's like 35 and 40-year-olds that are like, I'm getting fucking upset on Twitter. And it's like, and then your generation laughs at us.
I just don't have enough time for that.
No,
Like,
fuck it.
I,
And you shouldn't.
I
and you
don't have
shouldn't.
enough energy
Why
for
the
it.
fuck do we? That's the
I
real
don't
question.
know.
Why does my generation have enough time
Well,
for it?
and
We
then
don't. We're all losers.
we get shit for like not working hard and not putting
know
our
what I'm
nose to the
talking about,
grindstone.
yeah.
Like, I work 7 days a week, motherfucker. I don't have time to sit on X or whatever and have all these comments and opinions on things. I'm working. I am putting in my time.
Right.
I don't have time
Right.
for any of those antics.
And when that's true,
And I just don't care. I don't care enough.
and when I see that, I see a successful person in the making.
Thank you.
So good for you. Good
Thank
for
you.
And I'm not kissing your ass because you're on the podcast. I'll talk
He's
all
gonna
the
talk
shit.
shit when Paula's on here and be like, "Don't bring them back."
Just so you know,
She's the worst.
I am the opposite of the guy I just described. Like, if I talk shit to you on the internet, I will absolutely talk that same shit
Right.
face to face because I'm a real motherfucker.
Well, and I have respect for that. If you're gonna talk shit
The same thing with
online,
the compliments too, though. Like, if
Thank
I'm
you.
giving you a compliment, it's genuine. It's because I think you guys are awesome. And
Yeah, the things you write on my OnlyFans are great.
you're not supposed to talk about those things publicly. Client
Only
confidentiality.
Sam's.
AJ. That
What is that,
NDA
HIPAA?
you made
Report
me
him to
sign works
HIPAA?
2 ways, AJ.
Love it.
I'm now gonna countersue you, and I get a lifetime free subscription, buddy. I'm gonna toss this out there. This is from Stereo Sympathy in chat. I don't know who Stereo Sympathy is. I do recognize that name. He's definitely been a part of the chat before.
I think that's Jason.
is that Wyland?
I think so. Hi, Jason, if that's you. I'm pretty sure that's you.
I'm going to toss this out there. If you guys are interested, I'm the bass player with Dead Hands Rising. Oh, shit. We just sold our vinyl pre-sale. We might be looking for some promo before the release.
Oh,
yeah, dude,
Matt.
if you want to come on, man.
Matt.
Now I
Oh,
remember.
what's
Now I
Jason's name
remember.
on here then?
Now I
don't remember Jason's name.
Stereo
Hi, Matt.
Sympathy. No, Stereo Sympathy is an OG now.
Oh, really?
I actually remember Stereo Sympathy from a long time ago. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been in chat for a long time, like years, right? Like you subscribed like a long time ago. I would absolutely have you on the podcast, dude. I'm a big fan of Dead Hands Rising from back in the day, actually. Like way
That's
back.
awesome.
Way back before even Dan Copy was in Dead Hands Rising, I shared a rehearsal space, not the same room, but we were in this weird space in St. Paul on University Avenue in the upstairs. Joe Engel was in one room. My very, very first band, 7 Months of Nothing, was in this other room, and then Dead Hands Rising was in the corner over there. It was on the second level, and I remember we were taking a break, and this kid came up from, I don't know, Chicago or St. Louis or fucking Philly. I don't remember. But he drove from out of town to audition for Dead Hands Rising. And we were blown away that this band was big enough to have somebody drive from out of state to audition for
That's
your
fucking cool.
band. We were like, what? Like, those guys must be big, right? And they weren't, but they were big enough.
Sure.
Right, but we were just so young and so naive. We just didn't understand anything, and that kid got the job. That was the other thing.
Oh,
He
fuck
got
yeah.
the job.
That's so
and I'm
awesome.
pretty sure he was the drummer. Peoria, Illinois. Yeah,
He's
the
a vocalist.
Get the
That's
fuck
fucking
out of here,
rad.
dude. What a fucking weird
That's
small
so
world.
rad.
Dude. What a small world.
That's super cool.
Fucking wild. What a small world, man. Yeah, and now he's in my chat. And I'm hosting a podcast with you guys
That's
as my
so
guests. What a
awesome.
weird fucking world we all live in.
Oh,
man.
bitch is coming on the
Everything
podcast, it sounds
comes
like. So.
full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt, you definitely got to come on the podcast, man.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Morgan, we love you too.
Hello.
Let's fucking go. What do we got earlier in the chat? There were some other people in there, wasn't there? Jason, scroll up.
I know Jade was up there at some point.
We're gonna take a break and play another song here.
Oh, good. I have to pee.
Oh, me too. You want to go up or you want to?
You want to go up with me?
That's fine.
We'll go on an adventure.
Oh wow, there's a lot of chats in there.
Yep.
There's a lot of chats in there. Morgan is very enthusiastic.
Indeed.
Who's Tyler Wiley?
Tyler, what?
Where's that?
Tyler Wiley, scroll up a little bit. Leave my bestie alone. Who's Tyler Wiley?
He sounds wily.
Shout out to Tylee.
Tyler Wiley.
You talking about me?
I don't know who the fuck he's talking about.
I don't know. Maybe he's my bestie.
All right,
Maybe.
you can get rid of it, Jason.
That's funny. I want to know who that is.
Tylee Wiley. What a great name. What a great name.
It also sounds like an OnlyFans name.
Do you guys? No, I'm not gonna say it. All right, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna. Say
Anyways, bathroom break.
All right, let's play.
Complicated.
Constipated? Complicated. There we go. Sorry. I got
Mr.
Jason, do you remember which one that was? That's the first one.
First
right?
one.
All right. Enjoy some music, friends, fans, and follies. I don't know.
Good? You good, Jason?
Yeah.
Are you gonna go over here? Or you want to sing first?
Oh, I was just...
Yeah, we're good. Stupid mistake.
What?
No, when I hit my phone. Yeah. Hello, if you can also hop on your mic.
Show you what it means to live.
I fixed it.
Is it over?
Yep, just ended.
How we doing on time? We're doing pretty good, right?
After 9, it's like,
Time is a human construct.
It's really after 9 already?
It's 8:30.
oh, damn.
Jesus Christ, Jason. Oh my God, you can't even tell time at this point, dude. Jason, you're verging on getting fired. Jesus Christ, dude. It's just after 9. Motherfucker gave us a half hour.
It's 8:28.
Wow.
What clock were you looking at when you answered me so quickly?
Using UK time or something.
Did you just make that up because you felt like it was after 9?
No, I legit looked at my phone.
What weird time zone like fucked you 40 minutes, dude?
Your VPN.
My
is not
eyes.
working.
What half time zone are you between?
The one where I got to go to an eye exam next month.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, that'll do it too.
Yeah, I got a weird one I got to go to.
Oh my God, buddy. That's my producer, guys.
Hello.
I love Jason so much. I think I'm gonna be able to create a montage of just me ripping Jason.
Yeah.
Should have heard before we went live.
Hey, I was pretty nice. Don't call yourself a retard. That's just mean, dude.
It's a fact.
Did you say that in the mic? I hope that made it on camera, dude, because we're all dying over here. What? In case anybody didn't hear it, I said, don't call yourself a retard. He goes, well, it's a fact.
I mean, own it, I guess.
Don't talk about yourself like
You
that.
do
man.
you,
Come on,
boo.
dude. You're just having an off night, Jason. That's all it is. You're just having an off night, man. You had a lot going on before the podcast, dude. We've all done it, dude. And honestly,
I mean, I was up at 4:30 this morning.
I sympathize
I was
with it.
working all day.
So was I, but I sympathize with it because that's literally why I ended up hiring him. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do all the shit, produce and host a podcast
Sure.
all at the same time.
It's
like,
a
it's
lot,
just too
it's
much.
a lot going on.
It's just too much.
When you texted me this morning, I was like, he is up this early? What the
Oh,
fuck?
yeah.
Why? Like,
yeah.
I had to open, which is garbage.
Well, I go to bed super early, so
Oh.
I was
We don't.
responding to you texting me from last night. That's what that was. I wake up and I'm like, yep.
Yeah, I got like a solid 4 hours last night, and I was like, all right, let's go.
That's tough being a vocalist. You got to be careful with that.
Oh, yeah.
You need good sleep as a vocalist.
I mean,
It affects you more than any other person in the band.
I serve 2 days a week, so that's the only time that I actually have to get up at a decent time. Otherwise, I can sleep as late as I want to, usually.
And if you were a young man, I would tell you, do whatever the fuck you want. Work hard, play hard. But young women, you guys need the sleep.
Oh,
Women-
yeah.
women
You don't
need
want to
sleep.
deal with me on
No, women,
little sleep.
it's scientifically
Yes,
proven.
we
Women
need more
sleep
sleep.
than men,
Yes.
especially young women who are doing athletic or vocal things. Like,
Which
it's just
it's-
factual. I don't
Am
want
I
to
a
hear
woman?
about it. Shut
Yeah.
up.
Well, it's crazy
you're just
because
a
it's
bitch.
like
I'm just kidding.
All
You
the-
kind of softballed that one up.
I
there.
love my
Will you
sleep.
grab me one of these out of
Yes.
there, buddy?
all of the studies are like, oh yeah, you need 8 hours of sleep. When you dive deeper into
Thank
that,
you,
it's
sir.
like, yes, 8 hours for a guy,
Who gets 8 hours?
right?
Well, it's between 6 and
For-
8 for most men,
for
7 and 9
A
for women.
woman, I think
8
it's
and
up
10.
to like 10 to like 8 to
Don't
12.
say 12. Don't say 12.
Oh,
Don't
I'm
say
not
12.
kidding. I
fucking
was
dream.
just
Even
having
if
this
it's my fucking
conversation.
dream.
Even if it's true, don't say 12.
I used to like if I didn't get 12 hours of sleep,
Look it up, Jason. How much
I was
how much
the
sleep does the average woman need
worst person
versus
to
the
be
average
around.
man?
Now I can get 8.5, and I am perfect. Like
Yeah.
that is my ideal sleep schedule is 8.5 hours. Which if you would have told me that even a year ago, I would have been like, go fuck yourself. I need 12 hours of sleep,
If
but
I got
don't.
good sleep, I know for a fact I could survive on between 6.5 and 7.5. But I don't get good sleep.
Right.
I do love a good melatonin pass out.
Yes.
Bro,
Oh,
bro.
those are the best.
Funky dreams in there, fucking just done.
You get trippy dreams from melatonin?
Oh,
too?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, they're wild.
The biggest thing I've heard of lately is hydrogen. So there's a few ways you can do it. You can do a hydrogen bath. Okay, so they make like a bath bomb. That's a hydrogen bomb,
Interesting.
and you put it in the bath with you, and
Am I falling asleep in the bath?
you can.
Probably.
You can. There, you can also take
Don't try
pills.
that.
You can
Toaster's
also
right next to me. It's fine.
you can also take these like
Evelyn.
tablet pills, and you can also
You're
like
the
drink
worst.
water. There's all kinds of things you can do, but apparently hydrogen is like incredibly beneficial for you, and it'll help you sleep. It'll help relieve pain, muscle tension, inflammation.
Interesting.
Like there's this dude named Gary Brecka. He was just on Rogan again, but I've been following him for a while. I heard about him through Dana White, the dude who runs the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently this dude, Gary Brecka, knows his shit. So I subscribed to his podcast a while back called the Ultimate Human Podcast. And he talks about doing blood work and finding vitamin deficiencies, mineral deficiencies, and doing things with supplementation, finding out like you're very specifically in this. And when he's found, and this is why he keeps getting hired, and this is why he's famous and very successful, is because when he does this, he'll solve almost 100% of sometimes a personality disorder.
It's
right, like from ADD to fucking bipolar issues to digestive issues to weight gain, like just the craziest shit, because he like focuses on this fucking blood work and big data, and he focuses on things that like logically make sense, and he does really safe approaches to get to these results. And one of the things that he really hammers is these like hydrogen. You can get these tablets, you can do these fucking bath bombs. And so anyways, let's finish this up real quick. So apparently women only need 7 minutes more of sleep than men, 7 to 9 hours. So apparently we're very similar on that.
Okay.
Well, now the AI is broken.
Yes, it
Now
is.
the
'Cause
AI
I'm
I'm
wrong.
just saying,
I'm
it's
never
bullshit.
wrong.
No, it is getting
Suck
so
it,
much better so
ChatGPT.
fast. It's
Yeah.
the AI's.
But no, that's
It makes me uncomfortable. But
Maybe most men are 7 and most women are 8.5.
Yeah.
And that's still within that range, right? Like,
the
and that's a pretty
holistic
big difference.
holistic medicine is a big thing. Like I've had issues with my hormones forever. Like
What does that mean? Like,
Um,
as a woman and as a human, like issues with your hormones.
so
Catch us up
for,
as an ignorant dude.
for me personally, I I don't get my period.
Pull that close to you.
I don't get my period, so I
say that again.
one more time for the people in the back.
Weird timing for that.
Right.
I wanted to make sure people heard her. Yeah, that's all I was trying to do, you guys. Jeez, guys.
So
I look so bad right now. I look so bad right now.
So
Clip
I
that.
had gone to, like just your standard like doctor my whole life, and they were like, okay, let's put you on birth control. That'll fix everything. It doesn't. Birth control is fake hormones that go
Right.
into your body, and like
Sure.
it's fake. So I went to, I think I was 18, maybe freshly 19. I switched over to holistic medicine and found out all my vitamin deficiencies, figured out what was lacking in my body, like all of the things, and it pretty much fixed everything for me. So it's like, it's crazy. They measure you on different like scales, and they make it more towards like your body type, like your certain weight, your certain height, like certain things that a normal doctor, they put it more on a like broad range. So when it's more personalized to you, and you do the certain types of like, I had to prick my finger and do like blood dots on a
Sure. Yeah.
piece of paper, or like I had this like piece of cotton that I would have to put in my mouth for like 5 minutes and then send that in as a spit test. Like it's like different things that you would do for holistic medicine versus a regular doctor, and they find out so
Right,
many
yep.
more things.
Yep.
Like
I think that's the
it's
future.
It's crazy.
I've talked about this quite a bit. I think that's the future. I think everything down to diet. It'll be kind of like that
Yes.
scene from Back to the Future, where each person, like the one guy made a pizza and the other kid like calls down the fruit. Like you just eat whatever you want. I think it'll be like that, but it will be specifically because we've done blood work, and this kid can't eat pasta. Your other son, no problems with pasta. Broccoli will fuck his whole digestive system up, though, because there's some weird thing, blah 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 blah. But I'm just spitball. I'm making shit up right
I
now.
have that one.
But I think that is the future, where there will no longer be we make one meal and everybody eats it because of survival. Like we're already dealing in at least in America, we're already dealing with abundance of food. We throw away so much.
Oh, fuck.
So that's not really the issue. The issue comes down to labor. Like it's difficult to make each kid their own custom diet when you have 3, 4, 5 kids. But you get the Back to the Future technology where you can speed run a pizza in 7 seconds, right? You have a fruit stash that comes down from the ceiling. Each kid can fucking smorgasbord himself, and then it's just a matter of preservation and not wasting the food, right?
Sure.
But I think that's the future. It's what you're talking about. I mean, I heard about the same thing with people getting like 70, or it might be 12, I don't know, but a bunch of pricks over their back. Like there's a thing and they hit their back with a bunch of shit, find out, your
allergies.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And I've heard people recently over the last 5 years, like you can actually get your allergies cured, but you have to go through this like ridiculous test where they
It's crazy.
hit your back. However many, apparently you know what
they're
I'm
like
talking
checking for like little like
Well, they
Yes,
test
spots.
what
blood
your
sample.
reactions
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, they test. Yeah, and they both do something and draw blood, and they can like.
It's so
Do these super
wild.
reactive
And like
tests.
I haven't even really scratched the surface on holistic medicine, but what I do know
So what were you
from it.
deficient in?
So I'm anemic,
So you need
That's your
protein,
last
right?
name.
which is it
that
is
means
my
you-
last name. It's one of my blood cell counts is lower than what it should be.
So it has to do with red meat, though. Like
That helps it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. And there were certain like other vitamins like B12. My body doesn't produce B12.
so you got a supplement. That's an energy vitamin.
Yes, which is why I'm tired all the time. Which is why I needed 12 hours of sleep at one point, and
Got
now
it.
I can have
See,
eight,
it all
8.5.
starts to make sense
Yes.
once you fucking
Yeah.
learn what you're deficient in.
It was the laundry list of things that I was deficient in, and like it was ridiculous. And then I don't do well with gluten, which I know, and I cheat still. But when I was on a keto diet for quite some time.
Did that help?
Oh my gosh, I have never felt so good in my entire life. It's hard to keep up with that, especially living the lifestyle that we live where it's constantly go, go, go. It's hard to be able to meal prep and do all the things, you
Right.
know?
Where with keto, you can at least just gorge meat.
Exactly.
you're good
It's
for a while.
meat and dairy is basically what it is. No carbs, no sugars, nothing. And I felt so good. I lost, I think,
But you can still do vegetables.
yes,
And you do
certain
need-
vegetables.
you
You can't
do
do
need-
like potatoes and stuff like
Right.
that. That's very carb heavy.
Right,
But like
But you need
celery.
fiber. You need
correct.
fiber.
Exactly. So like I
Because
can
just meat and cheese will constipate the shit out of you.
Yes.
Jason talks about
I
that.
can eat salads all day long, but it's like I lost 25 pounds
Nice.
from going on keto in
Wow.
like 2 months.
I've also heard about people losing their waistline and not dropping any weight, which means that was just inflammation.
Yep. That was
like
a
I'm
big
talking
deal for me.
inches,
Yeah.
Inches. And they didn't drop a pound, but they lost like 4 inches
It
on
all
their
just
Yeah.
waistline.
went, it
It's-
all
Their
went to
whole
their
body
ass.
was
It's
inflamed.
insane. That's what gluten does to me is it inflammation like nobody's business.
Have you ever traveled to Europe?
Yes.
Do you have the same problem over there?
No.
Okay. See,
Which
this tracks.
yes, I brought that up because right before
That's GMO weed, is what that is.
right after I got home from Europe was around like the heaviest I had ever been.
Where'd you go in Europe?
We went to Germany and we went to Austria,
Okay.
and it was so beautiful. Vienna is my favorite place I've ever been to. I always make a joke that if I ever run away, that is where I am.
We found you.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, I ate it there and I felt great. And then I came back home, went on keto, lost a shit ton of weight, and I felt the best I have ever felt, which is crazy because it's like, well, then what are they putting in our food here?
Yeah, and I don't think it's what they're putting in it. I think it's more or less how we grow it, because we're
That too. That is a big deal.
like America's obsessed and I think this makes sense if you study the history of our country. So we came from Europe and we came escaping starvation. So America is focused on not starving. right? That's the main priority. Is like,
Sure.
how do we grow more food?
Sure.
How do we get more cows, get more meat, get bigger eggs, get bigger fruit, bigger, more, more. Because in our DNA, because of how everybody came here, why everybody came here, was either to escape religious persecution, political persecution, right? So they were some sort of refugee, or starvation. Like literally fucking, we can't grow shit. There's famine. There's like literally the potato famine, right? Like there's a million reasons. Well, maybe not a million, but you get my point.
Several thousand.
It's built into our DNA that every single person in our DNA is the descendant of an immigrant who came here for something better because they were struggling. And so it's built into everything we do. More. There's never enough because it can all go away tomorrow. And this is even built into our prepper culture, preservation, right? You look at our grandparents from the Depression, right? My grandmother, still to this day, washes and reuses Ziploc baggies.
Yep.
Like, yo, it's in our cultural DNA and our literal physical DNA as well. And then you combine that with the idea that we are wholly capitalistic to as much as I am, fucking very American capitalist, freedom, make all the money you can for the same reasons I just meant, because it can all go away tomorrow. We can have inflation. You might have $1 million today, and then tomorrow inflation fucks you, and that ain't worth shit. $1 million doesn't mean anything. We know this is true. However, it's definitely gone too far.
Oh, 100%.
And it's gone so far as that not only are we more concerned with having so much food that you never starve to death, that we're starting to make calorie-dense food with zero nutrition in it that is poisoning us. And the flip side of that is our healthcare is not based on a model to cure or solve anything. It's
Fuck
based
you,
on
I need another
treatments.
drink.
It's based on treatments.
You're making him spiral.
So to answer your question, it's not what we're putting in our food. It's how we handle the whole
Sure.
situation about the food. And that's the one thing I think the whole weird socialist European model of controlling the food market, I think they're on to something, and I think we're on something, because I think they're doing some things that are way better than us, and I think we are victims to some very greedy corporations that are farming huge amounts of land and poisoning that food supply. And I think what you're talking about, and I have some serious GI problems, and I think that's a big part of it too. So I got to be very careful about what I eat, and I think most of us can relate to that, especially if you're eating processed shit, which is why I have like Eric Kai's on the podcast quite a bit, and he talks about when you get back to just whole foods, you can make some extravagant shit, but when you make that from whole ingredients in your own home, not only does it taste better, but it's way better for you.
Absolutely.
When you buy that prepackaged shit from the store, oh my god!
You and your Lunchables.
I mean, if I do love a Lunchable.
If it
but
doesn't
yeah.
fuck you up, I mean, you're not exactly obese or fucking. You don't look
No.
inflamed.
He is a skinny bitch.
No,
So-
I eat like fucking trash, but I absolutely fucking agree. Like the food and farming industry is fucked up here,
Yeah.
and obviously our healthcare system is not built to take care of anybody ever.
And I think that's
So-
because the insurance companies more than the healthcare system itself.
I think it's both. It's both.
Well,
Like,
the insurance, I mean, the healthcare system is just designed to, like, do a job. I think
not well.
I think where the money comes from is the problem. So because the money comes from the insurance companies, the profit motive is not the best care for a customer. It's where they can get the most money from the insurance company. I think that's the problem. So I think if you could figure out a way to fix that insurance problem, I think it would trickle down to fixing
There's
that.
an easy answer for that, and I don't want to get too deep in the political fucking
Let's do
weeds,
it, baby.
No.
But universal health care right there, then you don't have the
I think
insurance
that makes
companies.
it worse
Why?
because I think now it's an unlimited fund.
Yeah.
It's the $400
to take
hammer.
care of everybody in
But
the
no
country.
one would. But you don't need to do that now. Now you just continue to treat people and you bilk the government for everything. It's the same thing when these private companies build Air Force bases for the government, and they charge the government $400 for a hammer that costs $10 at Menards. Because when the government pays for things, you just bill them. Because the government, there's no
But you're-
competition.
you're-
There's no
you're-
competition. You don't need to be better or cheaper. You just bill the government. I think it takes the same problem we have and just makes it worse, and we're seeing that in Canada. Like, Canada's really bad right now with their healthcare. Like, it's really, 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 really bad. If you have a major surgery towards the end of the year, and the surgeon responsible for that fucking salary or that surgery, they also have an income cap because they have to control the budget.
Sure.
So they have an income cap. So your surgeons can only make so much. So towards the end of the year, let's say you need a kidney transplant, but the kidney surgeon is capped out on his income. He just stops working for the rest of the year.
Well, that's
And you don't get to get your kidney surgery till the first of the year.
That's crazy.
But
And you're in a line.
But that sounds like a broken system too. I don't
Right,
know.
that's what I'm saying. So universal health care that the government pays for also doesn't fix any of the problems we're talking about.
I think it could though. Like
If we got rid of insurance and these companies had to actually compete for customers like a normal fucking industry, like a car company or anybody else, and it wasn't a free ride. That's the problem. Is all these companies anybody, a hospital, a doctor, a surgeon, an anesthesiologist, it's a free ride to just bill the insurance company for whatever the fuck they want. And as long as it falls under the purview, it's fine because you don't pay for it directly. It gets spread over 300 million Americans that all pay for this coverage together. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, whether we go to universal health care or we do private insurance, it's the same system because you're spreading my costs, and I never go to the doctor. You're spreading my zero cost over 300 million people. But then the obese woman who eats Twinkies every day and has diabetes and doesn't do anything about it and racks up a $45,000 fucking bill every time she goes to the doctor, because that's what happens when you bill insurance, that gets spread to me and you and everybody else. So it just rises the cost of everything, and nobody has any incentive to end any of these problems because they can just continuously bill these insurance companies or a government. So I think it's just, I don't think either of these things are actually different. I think they're the same thing. One's just called a company and one's just called a government. But either way, they're generating mass revenue from a huge group of people, and it all goes to one group of people, and the other group of people are the ones making money off of it. And I'm not telling you you're wrong. I just don't think it's different. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Does that make sense at all?
It does. I think
it made a lot of sense to me when I said it.
It always does, doesn't it?
Like,
not always. Sometimes I call myself out halfway through my rant, and I'm like, "No, this is bullshit. I'm abandoning ship right now."
No.
I did it earlier tonight.
But like, and I agree. Like, but I still think the insurance companies are a problem because you're talking about like, okay, so this insurance company has 50 million subscribers.
Pull that closer
or
so
whatever.
people can hear you.
Like this one has 50 million subscribers. This one has 50 million. This one, whatever the case may be. I don't know the numbers. I'm not going to look them up.
Yeah, but let's just stick with simple numbers. Yeah.
But so now instead of pulling from 300 million, you're pulling from this, like to spread that Twinkie lady's $45,000 bill over 50 million people is going to cost those 50 million people more than if you spread it over 380 million. Whatever.
And I'm not saying Twinkie lady deserves to die, but
No,
I'm saying
of course
Twinkie
not.
lady wouldn't cost $45,000 if she didn't get to blindly bill an insurance company through a hospital. Like Twinkie lady should probably be a $800 visit. That's what I'm really getting at. Like if we were in like 1910, but dealing with today's dollars, but 1910 healthcare, and pretend modern healthcare exists back then. We're just talking about the billing system. In 1910, Twinkie lady shows up. It's an $800 bill. She's out the door. Modern day, it's $45,000 because we can bill the insurance company.
Which is a flaw in the system.
Right.
It's
right.
it's
That's what I'm
not
saying.
a flaw.
And just handing it over to the government is the same problem, is all I'm saying.
It is, but that's why I think it's broken. And at the end of the day, I personally think we can absolutely, as a nation, afford Twinkie Lady's bill. But we're throwing that money into garbage programs or
That's where it gets
military
weird.
budgets and bullshit that
That's
we
where
don't
it gets super weird, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, so
you're
so
right.
it's
That's where it gets super weird, is where should that money go then? Because theoretically, we should be able to afford Twinkie Lady shit, but reality is our checkbook says we can't. We're how many trillions of dollars in debt are we, Jason? 27
many.
trillion? Just pull up the U.S. debt clock. Just literally type in U.S. debt
Oh,
clock and
Lord.
just pull the clock up. Because there's also a Doge meter they added to it too.
God damn it.
So like,
That's what I think. Wally was talking about that the other day. That does, because he's trying to find where everything is going, right?
yeah, just go to Doge.com and you can follow all the receipts. You can follow everything. Everything's documented now.
Not well, but
I mean, as good as it can be. It's better than it was documented before. Yeah. So $36 trillion.
This is why Wally calls me his little hippie. I'm just like,
36 trillion dollars in debt. So, according to that number, we literally can't afford anything at
Right.
all. Like we literally can't afford. Like, we're headed for bankruptcy. In fact, the interest payment on that debt is higher than what we generate in total revenue. Like, we've literally spiraled this thing out of control.
yay capitalism.
Here's the thing, dude. It's not just capitalism. It's literally everybody. It's the whole world. It's Russia. It's Japan. It's China. It's North Korea. In fact, theirs are worse per GDP. Maybe their debt isn't as bad, but their debt ratio to their GDP is actually worse. So it's not just American problems. It's the world. It's the world post World War II. We've gone on a fucking spending spree to make everybody's lives better, and it worked. But it's all about to collapse unless we figure out a way to cut spending. So you're right. Like, we should be able to afford, and we can technically afford X, Y, and Z, but we're wasting money on A, B, C, D, E, and F. And that's what we're focused on. That's where everybody's like kind of right when we're all being distracted because we're arguing about the wrong things. But at the same time, it's like, this is exactly what we're talking about. Like, should we spend money on this foreign country's fucking random play they want to do? Or this or that, you know? And you, at some point in time, like, you got to count the pennies, man. Like, the nickels and the dimes add up. You know, fuck, I got to pay $4,000 in income taxes all of a sudden out of nowhere.
ugh.
Like, yeah, ew, exactly.
Ew.
It's gross. It's super gross. So, like, suddenly I'm like, I got to buy less cigars. I got to fucking suddenly buy less beer. Like, it's going to be a really tight 3-4 weeks to make sure that I can fucking have this money due.
It's a fucking bummer that there's not a certain class of people that aren't paying their fair share.
They actually pay more than everybody else, though. So, like,
Yeah, percentage-wise, though, they're not paying their fair share.
they actually do pay more percentage-wise. Like, if we're talking about corporations, no company pays income tax. Like, a small
Correct.
business doesn't pay income tax, but they also pay payroll tax, and they pay a lot of other taxes, and they generate a lot of tax revenue. So, like, if you study the economics of that, all those corporations are still a net positive. So, when Elon Musk single-handedly pays $40 billion in tax, and somebody's like, yeah, but you're worth $800 billion. I'm like, yeah, okay, but what do we... I don't think the issue is whether the rich people are paying enough. I think the issue is we're spending too much. Because here's what really happens, dude. This is really what happens is we have a debt, then America raised taxes on somebody, but instead of just going, okay, we're good now, they go, okay, now we're going to raise spending. And then they go, well, we got to raise taxes on somebody. And then we go, well, now we got this money, we're going to spend it. And we just keep chasing. That's the problem. Like, I get frustrated because I'm not a billionaire. I live in the fucking hood. But I get super frustrated when people try to point the finger at these other people not paying enough. When it's like, dude, we waste so much money as a government. Like,
But I think it is both, though.
oh, definitely it's both. But again, when you do the actual math, those billionaires who found those companies, they're still a net positive. And they're always going to figure out a tax loophole, and they spend the money that we don't have, and then they always end up raising the taxes on the poor to make up for the difference that the rich people figured out how to get away from paying. And and the more you try to go
fucking
out,
the lower class is the problem here.
the problem is raising taxes in the first place and spending money we don't have, because no matter what you do, those rich people will consistently move their money offshore or around the globe and avoid those taxes. So stop trying to fucking chase them around. Let them do their business here and create more jobs and create more revenue and sell more shit so everybody prospers.
That sounds like trickle down, which did not work.
I mean, it doesn't not work either. Like, None of the other economic systems work any better
No,
than trickle down.
I don't know the fucking answer, but I know trickle down didn't fucking work. So
I mean, it didn't work perfectly, but it worked. I mean, there's a reason we're all sitting here around the globe in a way higher standard of living than we were 50 years ago, dude. Like, I'm not telling you you're wrong, but none of the other systems are better. Nobody's come up with a better idea.
I don't know. I don't know the fucking answer.
I don't either.
All I know is I will never own a house in my lifetime.
The moral
That's not true.
the moral of
Till
the
we get
story is
famous.
this.
I was just gonna say we're gonna have a house. What do you mean? If we don't have a band house, I'm gonna be pissed. Y'all had a band house all in your 20s.
Those were
what
rented.
about me?
Those were
what
rented.
about me?
You don't want one of those.
I do.
Josie, you do not know.
I
you know
want
you
to
fucking
live
don't.
with him.
No, you don't.
I do.
Honey, no,
we
you
would
don't.
have the best time.
I just called her honey. No,
Honey,
you don't.
no.
I've officially turned the corner.
Again, those were rented. We did not own those houses.
Well, I'm gonna own one. Damn it.
Perfect.
No, the
Have you ever
moral
seen,
of the story is this: buy tickets to come see local shows because we need capitalism to support local bands. If you want your local artists to come out, it's not socialistic. Nothing's free. We spent a lot of money on gear. People
Did
spent
we
a lot
ever?
People spend a lot of money on a lot of stuff, and a lot of these bands go into debt trying to make their dreams come true. So come spend money, come out to shows,
And
buy the
man,
records,
even
stream
when you write
stream
it off
all,
on the LLC
Buy the
taxes,
merch.
it does not pay
Buy
as
the
much as you
merch.
think it does.
buy the merch.
It's not all glitz and
It
glamour
is
over here.
not. But have you seen, like, on Facebook or Instagram, this is my house, this is my best friend's house, and we're attached by a fucking hallway that goes across our houses.
Yep.
That's what I imagine us in the future.
A commune.
You should- so here's what-
Yes, our
here's what you do.
commune.
So here's what you do. Here's what you do. You could wait until you get signed and get the big $1 million bonus. Like, so the band I'm using as an example is your dad knows this band. You probably know the name of this band. You might even know this band personally or just seen them at shows. Band called the Goodyear Pimps.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I knew the drummer for a short period of time very well. We were super tight for a short period of time. Just nothing bad happened, just a simple falling out, just lack of communication before modern day internet shit. If it was modern day internet shit, we would have stayed super close.
Sure.
But they got signed by Disney.
Oh,
And they
wow.
got a $1 million signing bonus. And they blew the entire signing bonus on two things. They bought an apartment building and cocaine. And they still...
Solid investment.
I'm going to say still to this day because I don't know any different. But as of knowing them, this was true still to that day, which is they still owned that apartment building. And all the band members lived in different sections of that apartment building. And then they tore down a bunch of walls on one of the floors and turned that into a recording studio / rehearsal
I
space.
think
That
that's
sounds
fucking
That's-
awesome.
That's what you're talking about.
I
That's
would
what you got to do.
love that.
And
That's
cocaine.
what you got to do.
I've never done coke.
No, I'm going to tell you right
so-
now. There's a vacant high school
That's
in
for me,
South
don't worry.
Minneapolis. There's a vacant high school in South Minneapolis. That would be the exact perfect version of what
There
you're
we go.
talking
There we go.
about.
This is like the movie I bought a zoo, or we bought a zoo.
We
or-
bought a zoo, yeah.
But we bought a high school. But we turned it into a fucking like
Commune.
a commune recording studio.
If I ever won the lottery or like made it big and got like Joe Rogan fuck you money, I would do one of two things. I would do exactly what we're talking about, and or I would do what I've been flirting with Jason about, which is find an area like a block, like a good 1 or 2 block strip along a main road like Johnson in fucking northeast Minneapolis, and buy every fucking building on that block for like 2 straight blocks going all the way down and turn every single one of them into different bars and nightclubs. So we could officially in Minneapolis, you could have a strip. You know what I mean? Like fucking Broadway in Nashville, like LA, right? Like New York. Like that's the one thing our town has always missed is like a hub of like somebody who can afford to do this and wants to do this and wants to do it the right way. I think that's the one thing our town is
that
missing.
would be fun.
That would be
That
so
would be
dope.
badass, dude.
Bring it to
You
St.
only
Paul.
need
'cause
about-
St. Paul's got nothing anymore.
Yes.
You only need about $300 million to pull this off.
Oh,
We've
fucking-
got it.
Yeah. I think our next show, I think our payout's more than that, right? At the
Yeah.
Skyway.
We
At
just
Skyway.
need one
Yeah.
lottery, one good $500 million lottery.
Yeah.
to
That's
pay off.
it.
Yeah, we're just gonna take your check from Skyway and we're gonna
Yep.
put it into a fund, and
A
that's
dividend
gonna
yielding
be
fund. Yeah,
correct.
yeah, And we'll
Yes.
snowball that. And we'll see each other in about 105 years.
Right. I'll still be alive. I don't know about y'all.
It's that keto day.
The problem
It
is
is
with,
that keto diet. You're damn right. They'll have that science technology figured out by that time, and I'll be
Perfect.
fine
I'm gonna be a fucking brain in a jar on a robot at that point.
in my house.
before it gets too late, let's
the
play another
butler
song.
now.
Let's play another song because we don't have to take a pee break. So let's play one more song before it gets too late. We got, what's the second one you sent us?
Abandoned Ship on our brand new album, Full Circle.
All right,
now
Jason, you
streaming.
ready?
Yes, now streaming live. Oh wait,
This
we're
is on
live
all
right
streaming platforms.
Yes, all
theoretically,
of them.
except touch tunes.
The whole lot.
Theoretically, dude, we're having huge problems. I'll tell you guys off air.
Ooh,
Jason,
get the
you ready?
tea.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna play it. Mute our mics. You good? Is it playing? That was not very confident.
Throw me in your ocean, drown me in your sea. Hold my head underwater, 'cause it's what's best for me. When you're feeling shallow, like there's nothing you can do, you leave it up to me, babe, to pour my own back empty. Jump, abandoned ship, wash me up with your bag of tricks. Jump, abandoned ship, swallow myself and get your fix. You go down,
We're back right now.
Right now.
Hi, we're back.
Oh my god.
And we're back.
Hello.
Yeah.
We're still here.
I.
Did
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Did you like the song? All of you beautiful people out there.
Yes.
I definitely saw some positive feedback in the comment section while it was playing. So
That's awesome.
Neat. I just like the I deserve to own a house because thank you.
you do deserve to. Here's the thing: is everybody.
I want a giant fucking garage and a big backyard. The house itself.
So
can
many
be,
cars.
The
So
house
many
can
cars.
be like this fucking big. I just want a yard for my dog, and I want 17 fucking shit cars that don't run that I
you
get to
to
play
work
with.
on.
Everybody definitely deserves
Run over those
to
speed
own
bumps, baby. You
a
do
house.
it.
Everybody deserves to own a house.
Yep.
However, I think a lot of my friends think they deserve to own a in Edina.
Oh,
There you go. That's the issue.
And I'm like, no, you need to first start in the hood like the rest of us. Like, come on.
You got to work your way up to a Edina, but nobody
Like-
wants to work their way up to a Edina.
Right.
Like, my parents' generation bought like a weird little 1-bedroom starter house in Blaine, Minnesota. You know, like that kind of shit.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like a fucking house that like you didn't have room to move around in. Like you were never having Thanksgiving in that house. You can get more room as a first-time home buyer, but you're gonna have to like sacrifice something else, like
Sure.
location, which is what I did. I got space. I got an extra lot. I got a big ass house. I got a big ass property, but it was also foreclosed on and. It's in the hood, so it's going to take a while. Like,
Sure.
It's an investment.
yeah, exactly. It really is, dude. And we're winning on that investment, so
There you go, there
no
you go.
complaints, but
Yeah.
not everybody can live in Edina. That's the point. There's only so many houses in Edina.
I also don't want to live in Edina.
I don't wanna
'cause
live
the
in
people are
Edina.
terrible there.
The
I'm sorry.
cops are fucking
I'm sorry to
horrible,
anybody
too.
listening in Edina, but fuck that place.
The worst part about Edina is I dated a girl from there, and her dad goes, I just want you to know something, kid. Already, I'm just like, oh, God, here we go. And I understand as the old man now how irritating I was as a kid, but I'm admitting at the time I still rolled my eyes and I go, here we go. Some old man preaching
Give me
to
the speech. Yeah.
However, this is the one time where there was no wisdom. It was just douchebaggery. And here's what he said to me, and I quote, you know there's no hospitals in Edina? And I went, what? And he goes, there's no hospitals in Edina. I go, you sure? And he goes, I'm telling you, there's no hospitals in Edina. Do you know why, kid? And I go, no. And I go, no, I don't know why. I'm actually super curious, especially the asshole-ish way you're presenting this to me. Okay, like you're about to school me on some shit. Okay, riddle me this, Batman. Why are there no fucking hospitals in Edina?
Which
I
there
didn't
are.
say this. I didn't say this, but this is the attitude.
Your internal monologue.
And he goes, because no one is allowed to be born in Edina. You have to achieve
Oh
Edina.
my fucking god!
Fuck off. Jeez.
I swear to God, that's a real conversation that happened, and that was my exact response. I went,
hate that.
my response is because this was the attitude. I was like kicking ass as a musician and shit, and I go, "Cool story, bro," and literally just left the room and then went and banged his daughter in the other room. Like I was so fucking like, "Fuck this guy, dude!" Like,
Dude,
oh my God,
And
your
that's
daughter's slumming it up right now from a
Going
fucking
back to the fucking ego thing. I can't stand that. I think it's so gross. It's a bad color on everybody. Like, come
It also
on.
made me want to move to Edina immediately.
Just next door to them, like, haha, I achieved Edina.
Yeah.
bitch.
It immediately wanted me to move to
But
Edina.
that's more
like-
out of spite
Right,
than anything
exactly,
else. That's
exactly.
not because you think you're hot shit. That's because it's like, well, screw you. I ended up here.
It was literally banging your daughter isn't enough. While you're in the house, by the way, I want to also move next door and then fucking play loud metal music and just make you move. Like that was, you're right. You're 100%.
Somewhere
It
else
was
It's
in
spite.
It was,
It's spite.
it was, I want to bring all my white trash into Edina now. I want to be the jelly roll that got rejected from the private. Do you guys know that story? Same vibe. He tried to buy a house in a private neighborhood, gated community, and they rejected him because
Good.
he's got a felony or some shit, or he's got tattoos on it. Whatever fucking bullshit bigotry they wanted to put up, like whatever. I want to be that guy. I want to piss all those people off.
Fair.
When one of my first jobs moving up here was working at the Target Portrait Studio in Edina, which was awful in its own right because it was all just like soccer moms that would come in once a month and spend $700 on fucking pictures of their fucking gross ass little kids. Like,
My mom was that mom.
but I loved driving my piece of shit 2001 Pontiac Sunfire that fucking didn't go into reverse. It was just a broken shitty car. But I'd like be driving it to work in Edina, and I'd be sitting there smoking a cigarette in the car, looking at these people in a Mercedes and a Hummer next to me, and like they're just judging me, like, "What the fuck are you doing in Edina?" I'm like,
I'm taking your pictures, bitch.
Yeah. Fuck that city. They're all pretentious.
Yeah, it's a wild vibe out there. And it's funny because like you guys are going into the Wild West, man. You guys are gonna start doing shit that very
Wild
few of us have
West.
done.
I grew up in the Wild West.
It's gonna get way crazier. It's gonna get way crazier because you guys are a really good band and good things are gonna happen to you, and the crazy shit that you guys are gonna run into is gonna be fun. It's gonna be wild. I think you guys all have, between the experience and the leadership and the guidance and just growing up in the industry, I think you have like a built-in wisdom.
Sure.
Because you've seen shit at 10, 12 years old where you're like, don't do that.
Yes.
You know,
I had the benefit of learning from a lot of people's mistakes at a young age.
That's why I say you're like, I love you, but you're kind of like spoiled into this. Like
100%.
Like we've been through the ringer.
But it wasn't
No,
given.
you.
Spoiled, but wasn't given.
I am a-
Yeah.
She
No,
earned
100%.
her stripes on her own.
I am
No, absolutely. I've never
technically
been that
a
way.
Nepo baby. Like, I
I
have
don't-
been given a lot.
You've
But
said this before, and I don't agree.
also, I work my ass off. I pride myself in the fact that I work my ass off. And if I wasn't quote unquote good enough to be where I'm at, I wouldn't get it.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
My dad is a hard ass.
If you weren't actually good, that's the way I would phrase it. If you weren't actually good, it doesn't matter how Nepo baby you were. Like, your band wouldn't be
it's
shit.
not going to work out.
You
Exactly.
would just be another band, and her dad is the guy. That's what would happen. But that's not going to happen for you. You're going to be the guy.
Yes.
And then everybody's gonna like someday be like, oh well, it makes sense, you know, like fucking like Lars Ulrich's dad was a tennis player, so he was a professional athlete and pushed his kid differently. Yeah, that makes sense. But Lars, it doesn't matter that he was a pro tennis player. Lars is the guy.
Exactly.
Lars is the guy.
Well, and
and your dad couldn't be prouder if that happens.
Absolutely. I get held to a different standard, like, especially, like, who my dad is. Like, if I sounded like shit or I did something stupid, I will hear about it, and I will hear about it directly from his mouth, and he'll be like, Josie, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, and I expect that. I expect to be held to a higher standard.
That's what I mean by you
I don't
earned it,
want to
though.
put out anything garbage.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything that's dumb. I am incredibly calculated and very professional in the way that we handle things, and I think that's a big deal.
How
Because
old were you the first time you played on stage live?
I
The
was
very first time you played, because I think I was there. I think you were 12, maybe 10, younger. Wow. Okay.
my very first, and I may be wrong on this, but from what I remember was Charlotte's Benefit.
Yeah, your sister, right?
Yes.
Yep. The Rock Nightclub.
Yes.
Yeah, I
was her and I are 7 years apart. So she was maybe 1. So I was 7 or 8.
Holy shit. I thought
Yep.
you were like 10 or 12.
Nope.
But granted, I've always thought you were a couple years older than you are.
Everybody
That's
does.
Your personality.
My age is the biggest
She's
mystery.
still 12 to me. Like,
Right.
You didn't even remember me.
which is part of your band dynamic, which is why none of you are intimidated by her. With all her great talent and her dad being her dad,
she's still just a
all
12-year-old.
of us, including me, like all of us remember you as a baby.
Right.
That's why I busted your balls the first time you were on the fucking podcast, and I was like, you need to change your fucking name. Like
Yeah.
that name is a disaster. And what did I tell you as my example? I said I changed my name to Singer because people said Cantor. It's Cantor. But it annoyed me so much. I said, and it means singer. I just translated my name from,
That's cool.
from Yiddish to English. But that was the example I gave you. I was like, change that fucking name. It's a disaster. But you did it. Now, here's the point. If I'm some random fucking podcaster that you've never met, and I'm like, oh my God, she's the new up-and-coming girl. Oh my God, she's so great. I don't have the balls to give you that advice. But, like, I grew up with you, or you grew up with me, whatever, right? Like there's just there's a mutual respect where I think you have a
Absolutely.
real future, and I'm like, this is one piece of advice, and I go, your dad did it. And
Yeah.
she goes, you're right.
Yeah.
That was it.
No, that's.
But you were humble enough to and go, that makes sense.
Well, and at the time, I didn't really. I mean, gosh, I was probably couldn't even drive yet the first time that I was on this podcast.
Was it that long ago?
I
Holy
don't know.
shit.
I would have to
think
look
you're
back.
right. No, I think you're
I was
right.
pretty young.
16, 17.
Yeah.
You're right there. You're right there.
Yeah, probably around there. But I mean, obviously, I would say I know a lot more now than I did then. And
Obviously.
yeah, I mean, my dad going for Wally Joseph instead of Wally Nemec makes so much sense. So then, therefore, I did Josephine Marie, which is my first and middle name. It makes more sense. I have met maybe enough people that I can count on my one hand that I could actually pronounce my last name and or spell it right off the bat.
Do you want to clear up just the pronunciation?
It's Nemec.
Just that simple.
Yep. It's Niemiec.
You are a anemic.
Yes.
And you are anemic.
Exactly. It's incredibly ironic, and I loved it when I found that out because I was like, "This is great." Because before that, I had made jokes about how, like, yeah, it's literally anemic without the A. And then pan to a few years later, I got the A.
I feel like that's not the first A you've gotten, though.
Oh.
You've gotten a few A's.
Wait, are we talking about the same thing?
I know where you went, and I know where you went, and it's two completely
Tell me about the A's you've gotten.
I think.
Fuck off.
Okay, yeah, I'm old. Yeah, I literally meant I think she's pretty smart. She's gotten a few A's in her life. You went a dark path.
Well,
Sometimes
his mind is permanently in the gutter. You'll
Yeah.
have to forgive him.
Well, to be fair, he is a homosexual.
always in the gutter.
Always in the A.
Always in the A. He's always got his mind in the A.
Oh,
We didn't come in your
gosh.
back door tonight.
Oh my gosh.
He did go,
Thank God.
did go in the front. Yeah.
Thank God this is not a family-friendly podcast.
I
think
it would
we-
not
He
be,
brings the side out in me. I swear I'm not normally like this on a day-to-day basis.
That did not sound genuine at all, just so you know. That sounded horribly sarcastic. That is the least genuine thing I've ever heard you say in your life.
Yeah, she's
and
a
I've
terrible
known you
person.
for quite a while.
24/7 terrible person.
That sounded like a shtick, a line you planned, like a rehearsed reply to a press answer.
That's
When
the
we-
impressive answer.
When we very first started hanging out, I made the joke that he is the devil on my shoulder.
You said that last time on the podcast, I think, too.
I probably, because it still reigns true, but we balance each other out so well.
Is she the angel on your shoulder?
Yes.
No, don't answer for him. She wants to be the angel, but is she the
She
angel?
talks me down sometimes.
Sometimes. All the time. All the time. We have such a good balance. Like it's so great. I love it.
Thanks for putting up with me.
Ditto. I am optimistic to a fault. So it's good to have somebody to balance me a little bit and give me a reality check. I am a realist, but yeah, no. There's a lot of good chemistry.
It is a little awkward with all the mics here. I am so excited to share the stage with you. Mm-hmm. It'll be the first time we've been on the same stage together in the same night.
I know,
I'm
isn't
so
that
excited.
fucking wild?
It's not the first time we've shared the same stage.
No,
we've done it twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
Where the fuck was that at?
So the first time I know it happened one more time, and I just can't remember the other time, but the first time or the second time, doesn't matter which time, but one of the times was that private New Year's Eve party we threw.
Oh my God, in that warehouse.
Remember the power went down?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Dude,
I
I
had
forgot
somebody
about that.
show up and jack the power from the main, like some super dangerous high-level electrician shit.
Oh
And
my
he-
gosh.
And he was like, we can do it. And I was like, how dangerous is it? And he goes, it's super dangerous. And I go, is anyone gonna die? And he goes, I won't die. And I go, and I literally go,
okay.
do it. So I go, do it. My ass was on the line. I booked the whole night. Like I fronted thousands of dollars. And I remember I think I had to short you or not pay you at all. And a couple of the bands were mad at me. They were like, are you serious? We're not even going to get paid? Like, there's all these people here, and I was like, dude, I lost like $1,500 tonight. Like, I'm literally like, I owe money,
Dude.
Like,
I
remember getting
like, it was
chased down for bills. Like, yeah, it was bad.
It was a fucking blast though.
It was a great night. Here's what happened: a blizzard. Like literally, I think
Of
18.
course it was.
I think literally 18 inches of snow.
It was something stupid.
It
like
was
that,
an
yeah.
irrational.
That was
amount
like
of snow.
every time that I had played with Skywind growing up, there was some sort of weird weather conundrum where it's like you literally can't see when you're driving to the venue that we're playing at.
We should have had 500-600 people in that warehouse. We had 250. I needed 350 or 4 to hit my nut, and anything above that would have been profit, including what I was going to pay the bands. And yeah, I finished way in the hole on that.
Wait, you're saying sometimes bands don't get paid for shows?
Yeah, but it's not the reason that everybody thinks, right? Like, there's a lot of guys that just straight up rip bands off. And then there's people that lose money on shows.
There
And
is. I won't name the venue.
If I would have had a
person
slightly
in town, there was one back in the day that was notorious on that. We can talk about it off.
Well, I
air,
just
but-
want to just say this. If I would have had a slightly bigger nut, I would have just guaranteed all the bands, and I would have just taken a slightly bigger hit. But I didn't. I had a smaller nut, and then that nut did not cover all the expenses. So not only did I not pay the bands, but I literally got chased down for a bunch of bills afterwards. And it wasn't anybody's fault. The bands did a great job of promoting. Like I said, we got hit with a blizzard on New Year's Eve. Like, it ruined everything. Like, but that was going to be a banger, dude. We brought a beer truck in.
That's awesome.
Like, I
was
had a
fucking cool.
stage, a light system, a sound system. It was basically a rave, but a rock show.
I would love to do something like that.
Oh my God. I'm telling you.
That would be
I'm
so
telling
much
you,
fun.
If weather didn't fuck us, it was going to be a night. It was going to be one of these things that we would be. You remember that New Year's Eve party you threw, Jared? That was the coolest night of my life. Somebody would have said that. But that fucking blizzard happened.
You know what? We could do it.
Minnesota.
But that's what I'm talking about, is the stars aligning for that thing that happened to you at Treasure Island, that stage diving thing that happened to me that night. This is what I'm saying, you guys. These are the stars aligning where everything is perfect because you played that fucking show in Treasure Island. You could have gotten a blizzard that night, and there could have been
It was the
800
next
people
day.
there. Right? Seriously. there
It
could have
was
been,
really bad weather the next day, wasn't it?
Yeah,
you
it
see
was
what I'm
great.
saying?
Yeah.
The stars align. And
Yeah.
like, it's one of those things where it's like, it makes me do kind of believe in God a little bit more. Where it's like, man, like, that felt divine. Like, that felt like it was meant to be. That can't be random. Like, it was just so fucking, there was so much hard work that went into that. Something in the universe decided to say yes.
There was some stuff that happened at the
New
Dorothy
Year's
show
Eve?
that I don't
No.
even think I've talked to you about with my dad's car.
Oh yeah, you did tell me about that.
Where what broke?
It was.
I don't
wasn't
know
the
car
transmission,
thing.
wasn't
No,
Or-
it
I thought
was
you said
something else. Well, that's what we thought it was at the time.
Oh, okay.
So I got a picture from my dad after the next couple of days
Mind you, for the listeners, he had all the gear.
in our trailer attached to his car. I don't
Yeah.
know what that is, but that snapped.
Yeah, let me look at it.
Oh, that's like part of
I know
the,
enough about cars. I'll
like
tell
an
you what it is.
An axle or some kind of part of the suspension.
Yes.
Oh, no, that's a strut.
Or strut, yeah.
Something.
Or a control arm. No, that's a control arm.
Is it? Yeah,
That's a control
some kind
arm.
of suspension component.
Whatever
that
it
is
is.
exactly what it is. That's a suspension component. That's a control arm. It looks like.
I know I've said this, but
Yeah, or a control
I don't get paid
rod.
enough to know what that
It
means.
depends on the vehicle and what they decide to call it.
It was
That's
a Jeep.
control arm, a control rod.
So-
yeah, I don't know enough about Jeeps to tell you the name of that part, but yeah,
You did
that's
say
a
rod.
control
Basically-
arm, a control rod. It's part of the suspension
You did say
system.
rod, though. Continue.
Well, he took it into the mechanic a couple
Did you
days
take
after
the rod
show.
into the mechanic.
He took the vehicle into the mechanic,
Rod
Oh
included.
yeah, you vehicled my fucking rod.
and
Oh yeah.
can't even focus.
You're in a band with dudes. Don't pretend you're not used to this.
I. Yes.
And one of them's gay, so you get all the extra jokes too. You get all the normal dude jokes plus the extras.
But see, we bond on that though. This is the first time that he's had somebody else that likes men in his band.
AJ is the director's cut. You get all the normal shit plus a little extra.
I like that.
I do too. I'm gonna
worth the
use
extra
that.
$3 on DVD.
You sure are.
$30 if it's Marvel.
Anyways, do you know how many times I have to say anyways in
Were
a
we
band
talking about
conversation?
something?
Yes, you fucker.
That just means you're equal.
Indeed.
Seriously, I had to stop talking at band practice. I'll talk and then somebody will talk over me and I just shut up. I'm like, all right, apparently what I have to say isn't worth listening to. So welcome to the club.
Indeed.
Finish your story.
You were talking about rods.
Whatever part in that
No,
car.
we were talking about Rod, you fucking pervert.
Whatever
She said
part in
something
that car
broke and we
that
went too far with it.
broke. My dad took it into the mechanic, and he called my dad and was like, "I literally don't know how you made it to the show."
Oh,
And he's like, "What are you talking about?" Because at that time he still thought it was his transmission.
No.
And he's like,
Every time he shifted
I-
gears, it's doing this.
but it didn't until the show was over and he had to move the trailer into the other parking lot.
Yeah.
And the mechanic is like, the fact that you were even able to pull a trailer is insane.
I believe it, yeah.
He's like, that should have broken. You could have died on
Like
the
I said,
freeway.
when the stars align, man, appreciate it, you guys.
He's
'cause
like-
it's rare. It's
yeah,
rare.
he was like, you should have gotten absolutely screwed. He's like, I put it on the lift, lifted it up, and that fell out of your car.
And honestly, non-musicians can relate to this as well.
For sure. No, that's an incredibly relatable
but
thing.
I think it's
for us,
dramatized when we're
that's-
talking about us.
right. I mean, it's insane. Like, if that would have happened on the way to the show, we could have been fucked.
Yeah,
And
or late.
it's like one of
Best
those
case scenario, you're late.
Exactly.
Oh my god, and then you miss your sound check because you're
right. But it's just like one of those things where it's like, that's how you really know, like, this was supposed to happen. The fact that
Tonight's your night.
it broke after the show was over is insane, because if it would have broken before, of course my dad would have been stressed out about it and it would have been a whole thing. But it waited until we were done, until we had to move it into the other parking lot to happen.
Call it God, call it the universe, call it whatever
I was going to
you
say,
want,
I don't
but-
believe that that's a coincidence. I believe that that was supposed to happen.
Call it whatever you want, whatever your belief system says it is. But like that's what metaphor every time I say, and the stars aligned. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, I'm a firm believer in
Because stars never align. by the way.
everything's supposed to happen for a reason.
That's not that phrase is a ridiculous. The stars align. That literally never happens.
I saw it in the Tomb Raider movie. I think it happened.
No, it's just a perspective thing. You know, it's just like one of those things where it seems like they're doing
Yeah.
this, but
yeah.
you move over 8 degrees and they're not even remotely aligned. You see what I'm saying? Like, but those moments are so few and far between. And as you get older, unless your success grows, those become fewer and farther between. Because they also start to become common. That's the other thing. And that's where I was actually going with this way earlier, like a couple hours ago, is they like when you start playing in front of 500 people, that becomes common and you lose an appreciation for that too.
For sure.
That's a real thing.
Oh, it absolutely
That's a
is.
real fucking thing. Especially, and this is kind of where my mindset is if you take 500 people and you put them in a room that holds 1,500, it feels weird. That's where I go, let's bring our egos back a little bit and take that 500 people and let's put them in a room that only holds 350.
Yeah.
Now it's overpacked and we got the vibe again, right?
Right.
But nobody wants to do that.
I've
They
been
wanna go up and up and up.
right. I've been taught from a young age to like never forget where you came from. The people that started with you, never stop appreciating that, because the second that you stop appreciating that, when eventually you come down from whatever high you're on, whether it's from playing in front of 30,000 people to 500 people, you need to appreciate who was there from the start, because if you don't, they won't be there when you fall back down.
Oh, for sure.
Everybody falls back down.
That's such a cliche too, but cliches are cliches
but
for a
it's
reason.
exactly, it's so true.
Right.
So thank you everybody that's watching
Yes.
Yes.
for being here from the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Like literally.
Like,
Yeah, 'cause those are the
it's
motherfuckers.
not
you,
even being
like you
facetious.
know,
Like,
like, and you start to remember them. Like they're all the way from the.
I just miss my mouth. It's a
They're-
common thing. It happens pretty much every day.
I'll be quiet.
Thank you. I knew as soon as it, yes.
Yeah,
Anyways, stars aligning and things.
You know, sorry, I had a little bit of a throat thing, and I got caught off guard there for a second.
I'll still be quiet.
She made me laugh. She made me laugh while I had a little bit of a throat thing. But no, you're right though, because you remember those people, and like
You are the worst.
sometimes you build really great relationships with those people at the beginning, and I've been through this, where there's people 10, 15 years later that'll show up to your band's first show because they're like, dude, I remember when you were in fucking this band. Like I literally have several people in my life that were like, I became a fan of you when you were 17 years old, and I watched you at a Battle of the Bands in Star Central in Columbia Heights, Minnesota.
Star Bar. The
Yeah.
Star Bar.
No, not Star Bar.
Oh, that wasn't Star Bar?
Not Star Bar. Star Central.
Oh, was that
which
different?
was the venue next door to the Star Bar.
God, okay.
And it held 888 people. And dude, it was a vibe, dude. It was a whole fucking culture. It went side by side with the Rock nightclub and the
Awesome.
Urban Wildlife, and it was part of this thing. And yeah, that's where I got my first, not my first show, but my first real show with a real PA and a real stage and a big crowd. Star Central, man, Battle of the Bands, dude. We came out of nowhere, and there's people that we're literally still to this day. They're like, I became a fan of you that night, and
That's
I followed
fucking cool.
you and your stupid bands and your fucking podcast, and I've been a fan of you ever since.
Which is so cool because it's like you made that impact on that person that
Right,
night.
and that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to be famous and uber successful to make an impact on somebody.
Right.
So don't self-censor. Don't think you don't matter. Don't think your opinions aren't valid just because you're not somebody. Because the haters will say that shit. Nobody cares about your stupid band. Nobody cares about your stupid opinions. That's false. That is 100% false. The amount of people I've had reach out have literally become countless. And I literally said, I think I was like 16, and I was like writing a list of goals. And I was like, if I can get one kid to say he started doing music because of me, my whole career has been fulfilled. And then everything after that was a wish list. That happened like right away. And then it happened multiple times since then, still to this day.
That was one of our first conversations. Like, I remember sitting at the round table at the studio and being like my dad had stepped out because he had to go on a phone call, and Shara was like, so why do you actually want to do this? And it's like, well, because I want people to feel involved. Like, I want to do this for people. Like, I want to make people happy and feel included when they listen to our stuff and be like, oh my gosh, these people are actually so real and so raw, and they care. Like, I want people to know that we give a shit, you know? I don't want it to be some facade.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, and then you do it a few times and you're like, okay, now what? Because I hit that goal. Now what? And that's where you start to go, okay, well, I want to do this for a job. Like, I want to do this as a career. Okay, well, why? Right? So for me, it became very apparent. Well, I'd rather swing, and I got this from the drummer of the Goodyear Pimps. I'd rather swing a drumstick than a hammer. That's the phrase.
I like that.
That is
So
dope.
If I have to go earn a living, I'd rather swing a drumstick than a hammer. Okay, so what that means is that the reason I pursue music as a career is because I want to get paid. I want to be able to raise a family and send my kids to college and like take my wife on vacation. But I want to do that just as a musician. I don't want to have to swing a hammer and then do this on the side, especially the way most people do it in this town, because we're not in Nashville, because we're not in LA, because we're not in fucking New York, is not only does it not make money, it fucking costs money. And it costs relationships. And guys have to quit bands because they have to take a promotion. They don't have time anymore. The only reason that's even an issue is because we're not getting fucking paid properly. Because we're not demanding the money that we bring through the door. because the venue owners aren't promoting the shows, because they're bringing a shitty PA, or there's not enough places, whatever, the fucking circle. And this is, I asked you this last time, and I'm refining this question now. So as we wrap this up, here's my final question. And I'm going to continue to ask you this question every 6 months to a year when you guys come on the podcast. But now I'm going to refine it very specifically, because I think the only way you should answer this question is the role you play in the scene. You guys are a band in the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So what should more bands be doing? What should other bands be doing? What is the number one thing they can do to contribute to make the overall scene bigger? And even if it's 1A, B, C, D, what is the big thing? Last time you were on the podcast, you said becoming part of these like local Wednesday or Thursday night things. You brought up Corey Carlson. You brought up that thing. Okay. So now you're a little farther in your career, 6 months or a year later. I don't remember last time you were on, but
personally for us, that's helped a lot. Like, we've made a lot more, at least, friends in the scene. Like, if it weren't for those Thursday nights, I wouldn't be close with Swagger. I wouldn't be close with Josh and Chris. Like, I wouldn't have some of my best friends, which is a crazy thought to me. But yeah, that I think those are a big deal. Going out and actually starting a community and starting things. Like, now those people are starting to track with my dad. And it's all becoming this one big, like, full circle thing, because everybody had worked with each other before, but now we're fresh in the scene. So it's like now everything's getting brought back around, and it's crazy.
As somebody who's been around as long as I have, and depending on the bands we're talking about, in many ways, you've done some things that are even bigger than I have, and then going all the way back down, starting a group with a young up-and-coming musician. What is something that you would say, other than piggybacking on her? Try to think of something else, because I want to get as much information out there as possible. What should other newer... And this could also apply to a band in Nebraska, right? If we really want to get broad and conceptual.
Absolutely.
Maybe a band in Austin. Like, especially if you're a good band, if you really believe in your band, you're not just a band, but you're like, dude, I really think we have something special. What do you think more bands should be doing that the average band isn't doing enough of?
And
without piggybacking on the
sure. Yeah, no, you take your answer. You're fine. For me, and again, like, maybe I'm just not in the scene enough. Maybe I don't see it enough. Like, because I know it is there, but I think just being a fucking human, being a person, because we want to get up there in front of 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, eventually 30,000 people, and rock their fucking faces off. But as soon as we step off that stage, I want it to be known that we are the same as everybody else out there.
Sure.
We're not better than you. Like, anybody can go write some songs and play some instruments, and it's awesome. We're the same as you. We're just doing a different thing. And I think that being human needs to be more of a thing, like, to just relate to the people that we're trying to relate to, like, through the music, through whatever, like,
be real and be raw,
and even your personalities.
Yes.
Not being a fake performer on stage and then coming off and being something weird.
We are
so what
undeniably
you're saying is,
ourselves.
Yes.
So what you're saying is this isn't the 80s. Don't put on a metaphorical bunch of makeup and masks, and that's not selling nowadays.
No,
be real.
Be a
so
real
it's almost
fucking
like
person.
back to the other version of the 80s, which is like the Metallica vibe, which is you go up on stage in street clothes. I mean, you're a little different because the ladies got to kind of spruce it up a little bit.
She's a little different. I pick
I
out
was
my
gonna
wardrobe
say,
every time.
I know.
We
Everybody picks out
run
their
the wardrobe for bullets. Thank
I know,
you.
Everybody picks out their wardrobe, but it's a metaphor.
No, I get what you're saying.
I get what you mean.
Like, well, I mean, surface level, I think there is something to dressing up for a show, but it's like, even
It's a
if,
metaphor.
Personality wise, you be yourself.
yeah.
Right.
And
That's what I meant.
that's what,
Yes.
like, after we get off stage, like Treasure Island, Annandale, wherever the hell we did these shows, like, you're in a fucking, like, cat suit and fucking boots and, like, makeup all done, and but then we're
Keep
down
going, I'll be
there,
right back. I gotta pee.
we're down there talking with these people as if they're just people, because that's what we all fucking are. And that's what it should be like. Yeah, we can be all dressed to the fucking nines. We can just have come off of giant fuck all stage. But we're not any better than
No.
XYZ person over here. Like,
Exactly.
we're all fucking people.
I love, like, I am a chatty Kathy. I love to talk to people. I love to take pictures. I love to sign things. Like, I think that is so cool. And we got so many messages, especially after our Dorothy show, of people being like, there was one lady that I just finally responded to today because I didn't see her message, where she was like, this was my daughter's first concert and she won't stop talking about it. You guys took pictures with her. You did the whole 9 yards. And like, thank you so much for doing that. That is exactly why we do what we do, especially in this band. Like, we are very real and very raw, and we want to spread as much love and appreciation as we can. So the fact that that's like, we get to see that paying off, especially with the youngins. Like, I love that. I think that is the coolest thing ever. Like, there was another little girl who I took a picture with. I don't know if it was her or her mom that had followed us on Instagram like the next day after our show. Their new profile picture was me and that little girl, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Like, I got teary seeing that because it's like, that is exactly why I do what I do and why we do what we do.
Yeah, 100%. Like, we're here to the surface level, write music, play music, make money, but the reason we're here doing it is to impact people and fucking make a difference and give somebody something to look forward to. Like, fucking A.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. Make people feel loved and appreciated and wanted, because that's all we want for people.
Well, I'm such a big fan of you guys.
Thank you.
I hope nothing but the best for you guys. Like, I've known you guys as people. Whoa. I've known you guys for so long as human beings, and I think so highly. Jesus Christ, Jason. I think so highly of you guys as human beings that I think you guys have all the mixture to do everything right, and I hope it happens for you. Like,
Thank you.
we need more people to be successful from this town, because I'm a huge proponent of the phrase, the rising tide raises all ships, right? Like, the better you guys do, the more I can help bring attention to you guys, and
Absolutely.
Paul Dockendorf brings attention to you guys, and fucking everybody helps you guys get bigger, right? It helps my podcast. And then guess what happens? When my podcast gets more successful, when another band comes on, there's more people that I can expose them to, right?
Oh,
and then they get bigger.
Everybody's
and then
gotta
they come
eat.
back on my podcast and help my podcast get, right? And then that helps Greg Chilton's podcast gets bigger. La, 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 la. And the whole thing is just positive for everyone. It is not a famine state. We're not competing. There's enough time and enough energy for everybody. We can become Nashville. There's plenty of these towns that do this, and I don't want to hear about the fucking weather, because we were already here once before. We did it once before. We can do it
Absolutely.
again. Motown was a thing. Detroit's weather is just as bad as Minneapolis, right? Like Motown was a thing. It's about a concentration and about a focus of like taking a scene, which is what I call a scene, a group of amateurs, a group of organized amateurs, to an industry, which is a bunch of money-making professionals, right? And I want that for all of us, so we can make a living
Absolutely.
doing this, so we don't have to make a choice between a day job and anything else. Do you guys have anything to, other than the 26th, do you guys have anything to plug and promote before we get out of here? Because I'm going to play this video as we plug the 26th show.
We're actually playing in Iowa in May on
Nice.
the 24th.
Nice.
I'm going to look. I'm going to fact check it because
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want to
yeah,
tell
yeah,
you all the
yeah.
wrong
Yeah,
thing.
drop any dates. So April 26th, Skyway Theater with
Yes.
us.
Yes.
So we are Montoya Machine. I play drums for Montoya. We're going to play a video on the way out. That's where we're going to use as the outro for the next few podcasts, actually. But we haven't built it in yet, so it's not automated. But anyways,
We are playing May 23rd.
so April 26th,
and
May
May
23rd,
in Iowa.
and then what's next after that?
That's what we.
DVD.
That's
all
what we
you're
got so
announcing
far
right now? Okay.
Yep, that's all we're
got
announcing.
some stuff in the works, but go follow us on social medias.
So
Yes, all the things.
I can tell you we're doing April 26th with them, and we're playing with Blue Felix and a slew of other great bands, including Casanatra. And then the Montoya Machine is also playing June 6th in St. Cloud with Casanatra.
What venue are
But
you guys playing at?
we can't announce the venue or the other bands we're playing with yet because it's not 100%. The show's official, but none
Sure.
of the other stuff is official.
Gotcha.
So I can't announce anything. But
Okay.
so
TBD.
we're playing with Casanatra on opposite stages on April 26th, and then we're playing with Casanatra June 6th in St. Cloud. We were going to play the next night together again in
Oh, wow.
Minneapolis, but we're pushing that date because we were going to bring up an Iowa band and
Yeah.
some the bill we wanted to put together didn't work out, so we're going to push the date because we want to keep the bill together. So we're going
Sure.
to find a better date, and the
That's
right
awesome.
venue, and blah 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 blah. But, so that's what we got, guys. We're going to play this silly music video of ours that we played. I look like such a dork on the drums. Oh my God. I used to be so cool, you guys. I used to be such a great performer. So April 26th, come see Josie's band play after my band. We're playing Skyway Theater, Blue Felix. Go to the website. Links in the description. Tickets are dirt cheap. $10 in advance, which is insane in this economy.
Especially for 8 bands.
For 8 bands,
Bring-
you're
bring-
paying $1.
Bring a carton of eggs, and we'll call it even.
Did I do that math right? Did I do that math right?
I don't know. I
$1.20
don't do
per band?
math. I
No,
was going to be an
that-
English major if I didn't do music, so don't
it's-
ask me about math.
No, I think it's $1.25. But I think I
God
did
bless
that.
you guys.
Love
We love
guys.
you.
We'll play this music video. Mute the mics. We're out of here, man.
Thank you.
you.